السلام عليكم. يبدو انه ناس كثير مش عارفة شو يعني الإبادة. وهذا طبيعي لأنه الإبادة بتصير مرة في الجيل، يعني بتصيرش كل شهر مرة، فاهمين؟ ممكن تصير مرة في القرن لحد ما ناس ينبلوا باحتلال زي احتلالنا. فاسمحوا لي أحكي لكم شو هي الإبادة من واقع تجربتي البسيطة. الإبادة مش إنه تطلع مقاتلات حربية في السماء مدججة بأعتى أنواع السلاح علشان تقتل المدنيين العزل. الإبادة هي إنه هذول المدنيين العزل بعد ما ينقتلوا وتنهدم بيوتهم وينجوا بعض منهم يحاولوا يهربوا، ينزحوا. فلما ينزحوا يتركوا وراهم أكلهم وشربهم ووعيهم وأغراضهم وفلوسهم ودواهم. خلال نزوحهم تكون درجة الحرارة 40 وما في مواصلات لأنه ما في سولر، والاحتلال بيمنع أي سولر يدخل البلد، ولأنه سيارات البلد صارت عطلانة حتى ما في ميكانيكي يصلحوا. وممكن كمان ما تلاقي كارة بجرها حمار لأنه الحمار تعب ومات وصاحب الكارة استشهد. فبتضلك ماشي على رجليك وتحتيك ركام وفوقيك ركام. توصل لمكان ما ممكن ما تلاقي مكان تحط خيمة. في المكان هاد بيكون جنبك مجاري، المجاري فيها شلل أطفال وهيباتيتس A الحمد لله، وبيكون فيها ملاريا. بس ينصاب ابنك فيهم، و99% رح ينصاب ابنك فيهم، ورح يكون الصغير الضعيف اللي أصلا شوي وبتصيبه جفاف. راح تروح على المستشفى، مش هتقدر تعالجه لأنه المستشفى مليان على الأرض ناس مقطع أشلاء وشهداء. وراح توصل أخيرا دورك تتعالج، وراح يجي يحكي لك الدكتور ما هو فحص الصحايا مش موجود لأنه المستشفيات لها 10 أشهر تستنزف. ما هو أنا آسف مش قادر أعالج ابنك لأن ابنك معاه جفاف شديد نتيجة تسممه من المي الوسخة والملوثة، والفيروس اللي عنده رح يؤدي لقتله، عظمه مبين. ما فيش محاليل نعطيه، فيش مضاد حيوي نعطي ابنك للتقرحات اللي قاعد تطلع فيه بسبب التلوث والقرص لأنه ابنك ساكن على الرمل. الإبادة هي مزيج من كل إشي بشع. الإبادة معناته تشوف كل اللي أنا حكيته هاد وبإيديك العارية تحفر قبر حبيبك. الإبادة هو إنه أنت تجوع وتفقد القيم الإنسانية اللي عندك، ومجتمعك ما يقدر يساعدك. البلد اللي كان فقير ومحاصر بس ما حدش فيه بموت من الجوع ولا حتى بنام جعان، صارت الناس فيه تموت من الجوع وتنام جعانة كل يوم. بالعكس المش عادي صار إنك تنام شبعان، لأنه البلد هاي ما عاد فيها حدا يقدر يساعد الثاني. صارت النجاة صعبة، الموت أسهل إشي عنا. فهاي هي الإبادة. فلا تيجي أفتح ألاقي واحد معلق كيف الصحفيين بيعرفوا إنه المكان رح ينقصف؟ لأن الاحتلال بيضحك عليك وبقول لك إنه بحذر غزة، وهو من بين 200 ل 300 إصابة أو قصفة على الأقل بيحذر بصاروخ تحذيري. قصفة واحدة الصاروخ التحذيري يقتل ويهدم ويدمر. ما بدي حدا يحكي اوه ما هم هاي مبين عندهم اندومي في الصور، انا اكتشفت بقواي الخارقة في الفيديوهات تبعتهم انه في اكل. ما هو بعد 10 أشهر تجويع الاحتلال مسكر علينا المساعدات اللي مفروض كل العالم بيبعتها نتيجة الاستجابة لهاي الكارثة اللي بتصاب فيها غزة حاليا. وبفتح كرم أبو سالم معبره الخاص ببيعنا زبالة منتجاتهم وبيعطينا إياها، وبيعطيناش الأدوية، بيعطيناش مواد التنظيف، بيعطيناش أي شيء. هتقولي ليش مواد التنظيف والأدوية؟ هقول لك مواد التنظيف بيمنعها عشان ما نعرف نغسل إيدينا ولا وجهنا ولا أواعينا، فنعيا يجينا جدري وجرب ونروح نتعالج وما نلاقيش الدواء. فالإبادة هي مزيج. هذا درس إن شاء الله ما تحتاجوه. بس كمان شغلة إضافية عشان خنقاني بموضوع الإبادة. الإبادة هي إنه كل إشي يتعب وكل إشي ينقطع شوي شوي قدام عينيك. كل إشي تيجي تروح تخيط حذائك، تخيط قميصك ما تلاقي. الإبادة هي إنه أنت ما تلاقي نص كم تلبسه بالصيف. الإبادة هي إنه تلبس القميص هاد لمدة 10 أشهر تكون طالع فيه من بيتك اللي انحرمت ترجع له لحد هاي اللحظة. هاي هي الإبادة. تمام. أتمنى ما توصلوا تفتحوا مسجي هاي وتشوفوا إذا اللي بحكي صحيح أو لا. الإبادة هو إنه الإنسان يتعب، والآلة تتعب، واللبسة تتعب، والخيمة تتعب، والأرض تتعب، والحيطان تتعب. الإبادة إنه تنتهي الدنيا. وهم يكونوا عارفين انه الحرب اللي بيشنوها عليك مش بس حرب سلاح، بل حرب بيولوجية نفسية انه الانسان يضل تعبان طول نهار نازح. المنطقة الوحدة بيكونوا جايين عليها ناس وطالعين منها ناس، فما حدش عارف وين يروح، ويكون في اوامر اخلاءات في كل اماكن قطاع غزة، وتكون انت نازح من الشمال للجنوب وممنوع ترجع على الشمال مرة تانية، وتكون مش عارف تنقل اغراضك من مكان للتاني، لانه ممكن المكان هذا يصير في إخلاء وقصف فجأة وما تعرفش تاخذ أغراضك مرة تانية، ولا الكبير بالسن ولا اللي عنده إعاقة. والحرب البيولوجية هو إنه أنت تصاب بكل أنواع الفيروسات، حتى الفيروسات المنقرضة عن وجه البشرية زي فيروس شلل الأطفال وزي السحايا والهيباتيتس والملاريا، وما تلاقي علاج. والحرب العسكرية تنقصف، تقتل، تتقطع كل يوم بسلاح جديد، لدرجة يجوا الأطباء ويحكوا ما مر علينا هذا النوع من الجرحى قبل. فتكتشف إنه أنت كنت حقل تجارب جديد. شكرا على استماعكم وآسفة على الإطالة. هاي هي الإبادة اللي بنمر فيها من 10 أشهر، ولا واحد فيكم متحرك، لا على مستوى فردي ولا على مستوى جماعي، ولا واحد فيكم متحرك. كل واحد فاهم اللغة اللي أنا بحكيها عليه ذنب وعليه حق، وحق راح يضل برقبته ليوم الدين، لأننا بشر، لا إن إخوة بالعروبة ولا إخوة بالدين ولا إخوة باللغة ولا إخوة بالجغرافيا، بس لأننا بشر. يعطيكم العافية. Everyone, this is Bisan from Gaza. I'm still alive. I'm now in Khan Yunis and talking to you from the water distribution of Al campaign here in a displacement camp. And this is to tell you that the Israeli army, since the beginning of the genocide, destroyed more than 40 water wells and put more than 93 other water wells out of service because of the partial damage. Not only this, they also destroyed more than 5 kilometers of water supplies because they intentionally destroyed the streets and the infrastructure. Not only this, they also destroyed 9 major water tanks that used to distribute water in all places of Gaza Strip. The last of them was in Tel Sultan last week. So simply, they are intentionally trying all the time to deprive people from their basic rights in drinking water or any other basic rights. Now, unfortunately, the share per person in Gaza, the water share, is only 3 liters of water for drinking, washing, cooking, and cleaning. Only 3 liters of water, while the average, international average, is more than 30 liters of water a day. So people in Gaza, even in the hardest circumstances ever, in the middle of this summer, they take 1% or 10% of the needed water per person. Okay, so this is the water situation in Gaza right now after 300 days of genocide. And this summer, now Al campaign is one of the main water distributors among displacement spots in Khan Yunis. Alhamdulillah, they are distributing water non-stop for 4 months or 5 months now. But the real question is until when? Because even our work, even our distribution is not an alternative and will never be enough for people. Hi. In Gaza, we don't have bunkers. In Gaza, we don't have well-prepared and structured places to be shelters for people in any emergency, in any escalation, or in a genocide. That's why people now are either living in tents or in schools. And since the first escalation I remember in 2008, then 2012, 2014, 2021, and 2023, 2024 genocide, people at the very first moment of the bombing reached the nearest school. Okay, this is for various reasons. The first reason is that we are human beings, so we feel more safety when we stick together. We feel that we need to face this bombing together, but of course it's not safe. The second reason is that definitely the school or any building will be better than a tent, because at least you're not living on sand, and not you don't have to repair the fabric making your tent each week, okay, every week. So the third reason is that people feel that this will help more for any aid to reach them, because they are in a school. They feel that the UN agencies must help them more because they are sheltering in UN facilities or UN schools, and they have some bathrooms. I know that the bathroom is something simple for you. I mean, something for granted. You wake up, go to bathroom. You absar go to your bathroom. Here, it's a struggle. So people go to schools because of bathrooms. And by the way, the bathrooms in the schools are the most disgusting thing ever. They are not enough. There is no water. There is no hygiene. So it's disgusting. The Israelis know this. The Israeli army knows this very well. But you will find that 70% of the UN schools in Gaza Strip were bombed. 95% of them were shelters when they were bombed. During the past 12 hours, the Israeli army bombed 2 schools, okay? And they were shelters. The first school was in Zaytun neighborhood in the north of Gaza Strip, and more than 10 people were killed. The other school was Hamam school in Sheikh Radwan, and more than 17 people were killed. And this is only days after bombing Khadija school in Deir al-Balah and killing more than 30 people. So the question now, I'm really asking this to anyone, maybe to Israelis themselves. Where should people go? If you're bombing the UN schools and the tents, the Mawasi area itself, and any place outside Mawasi area, where should we go? Should we swim until we reach Italy? Or Greece maybe? Wallah, I'm talking serious. This is serious. Where should we go? I'm asking anyone of this world, where should we go? If even schools that we sheltered in, because 70% of our homes were destroyed, and the 30% we are not allowed to reach to because the Israeli army are there, where should we go? That's my question. And I need you to know that this is not the last school to be bombed, because hundreds of schools were bombed. None of these hundreds, okay, schools was the last school. And of course, tonight also they bombed a tent inside Shuhada Al-Aqsa hospital in Deir al-Balah, killing 3 people and burning the surrounding tents. Just imagine that you're trying hard. It's almost impossible to survive 302 days of genocide, and then you're killed because you're still sheltering in a school and you still have some faith in the UN agencies or any humanitarian protection or anything in this world. Just imagine being killed after 300 days. This is miserable. I mean it. I wouldn't be sad if I died in the 7th or 8th or 10th of October last year. But now it will be a tragedy, because I've struggled to survive all these days. Now we are dying in shelters. What should we do? Where should we go? I don't know, and you don't know, and no one's know. But we know. We need to know. I mean, we need to know, صح? Because I know that there is no logic in wars themselves. Okay, no logic, يعني. But because humans are the most illogical creations, they put rules to the wars. Okay, now even the rules of the wars are not in Gaza, are not applied in Gaza. Even the shelters are not safe. Come on, I don't know. Shukran for hearing me. That was so devastating to understand what is happening. Just understand that people are in schools and not safe, and in tents are not safe. Why the hell did we leave our homes? Why the hell did we evacuated our homes when the Israeli army told us to do this? We could have lived in our homes يعني. خلاص عادي بنموت في دورنا صح؟ يلا شكرا. Thank you for hearing. I know that this will not change anything, بس يعني I will keep recording until someone record. سلام. Hi, I'm gonna show you something really funny. These are my shirts that I've been using for 10 months. I evacuated my home back in November 2023 from the north of Gaza Strip, carrying only 2 shirts and 2 black t-shirts. And I've been using only these shirts. So see how worn and old they are. See how tired they are. This used to be the color before of the shirt before spending 10 months with me. This is my father's shirt, by the way, because it's oversized. I found it's suitable to evacuate with. Yeah, see how worn is it? See the difference between the color, the original color, and the color of the shoulders and sleeves. This, for example, used to be denim. Okay, used to be blue. See this? See the difference? I only use these shirts for 10 months, day after day. And by the way, clothes are not allowed to enter Gaza. There are no clothes entering the markets in Gaza, so we cannot buy simply new clothes. And even if people here wanna make their clothes, for example, there is no manufacturers, no factories. So yeah, this is another struggle. I don't have clothes, but this, for example, look how.
عدى 304 يوم من أطول وأعنف حرب على غزة من أول احتلال إسرائيلي من 76 سنة. ودلوقتي أطفال غزة وأطفال المنطقة كلها في خطر من شلل الأطفال. ماذا لو شلل الأطفال انتشر زي زمان؟ فيروس خطير وخبيث بينتشر بسهولة في البراز والمية والأكل، بيمرض الأطفال وبيجيب لهم شلل في أطرافهم وبيموت. في التسعينات وأوائل الألفينات العالم اجتمع عشان يحارب، وفي 2006 أعلنت منظمة الصحة العالمية إننا انتصرنا على شلل الأطفال، والإصابات قلت من 350 ألف إصابة في السنة لأقل من 1000 إصابة في السنة. ودول ومناطق كاملة أعلنت اختفاء الفيروس تماما من عندها، منهم غزة. ومن أسبوعين منظمة الصحة العالمية برضو أعلنت إنهم لقوا الفيروس في مية الصرف الصحي بين الخيام. ما تمش إعلان أي إصابات لسه، وده لأن الفيروس خبيث بيجي في الأول من غير أي أعراض أو بأعراض بسيطة زي البرد، سخونية ورشح. بس الحكاية مسألة وقت لو موقفناش عندها وعلينا صوتنا. الأطفال الأصغر من 5 سنين في غزة في خطر. كل الناس في غزة في خطر مختلف. دخلوا اللقاح، طعموا الأطفال ووقفوا الحرب دلوقتي. مش معنى ان الحرب مش في بلدك ومش على حدودك يبقى انت وأطفالك بعيدين عن الفيروس. لا، طفل واحد لو اتصاب بشلل الأطفال معناه ان أطفال العالم كلهم في خطر. وافتكر ان
مرحبا بسان. No official evacuation orders have been given to international organizations to evacuate Dar al-Balah yet. There are no official evacuation orders.
The Israelis are trying to normalize their crimes by repeating them and making sure that no one is even complaining about these crimes or trying to stop them. It looks like they succeeded in this, because in the past 2 weeks, only 2 weeks, they bombed more than 8 schools. 8 schools were full of displaced people. More than 20 to 30 people, civilians, most of them are women and children, were killed in each school. And because no one told Israel that these schools must be safe places and shelters, because you are displacing people and bombing their homes and destroying their lives. So they need to have a safe place. It's their rights to have a safe place. Israel repeated the crime today. Today, in the day 309 of the genocide, people lost every faith and everything and everyone in this world, and the only faith they have is for God. They were praying in a worship inside a school full of displaced people in the north of Gaza Strip in Daraj neighborhood. 100 people were killed when they were praying. When they were praying, they woke up at 4 a.m. to have Al-Fajr prayer, and then the Israelis bombed them. They killed them. The Israeli army said or announced that they took all the criteria, they took care of this bombing, this targeting, to minimize the number of people who are killed. They killed 100 worshippers of the world. If the Arabs, if the Muslims, if humans are not moving for this, are not trying to stop this right now, then nothing will move them. Nothing will move them. 100 people were praying, Ya Allah. 100 people were praying. After they were bombed, no one survived. No one survived the missile. They were cut into pieces. People were trying to find hardly their beloved ones. Okay, you'll find that only a little number of completed bodies reached the hospitals. 100 worshippers. By the way, that's not the only thing, because in Islam, the people who are attending Al-Fajr prayer in the mosque or the worship place are men. Men of the families, men of their home, these homes, who are finding food, water, taking care, finding places to displace to, who are the main pillar of the families, are now killed. 100 families. They were praying. If this is not a genocide, then please tell me what, and I'll shut up for the rest of my life. They were praying. They survived 308 days of genocide, having the faith only in God, and they went praying, then they were killed. They were praying, world. They were praying. And it's not the first time to bomb people while praying. They did that before at the same day of Mawasi massacre in the Shati refugee camp. People also were praying there. And it was Friday. And more than 30 people were killed. But that's a massacre. That's a massacre. More than 100 people were killed at the night. Hi everyone, this is Bisan, and these are some updates about yesterday's massacre, the worshippers massacre. So the civil defense did not find any completed body, no completed bodies for more than 100 people are killed. Even burnt bodies they did not find. So they had to do this. They gathered human pieces in bags, in plastic bags, and since the average weight for a normal human is 70 kilograms, let us say, they gathered every 70 kilograms in one plastic bag and handle the bag to the relatives or to the family who are still alive. And for children, they gathered between 30 to 35 kilograms of human pieces in each bag, so they handle it also to the mothers, fathers, or the relatives. But despite this, they did not find enough human pieces. This is simply because of the new weapon that the Israeli army used to commit this massacre. The army dropped 3 bombs. Each bomb weighed more than 2,000 pounds. So that's 6,000 pounds over a closed and a small place and crowded place. And the heat of the explosion was more than 7,000 Celsius degrees. So the human bodies and pieces melted. If this is not a Holocaust, if this is not a genocide, then please tell me what. Please tell me what. I'm just waiting for any answers. This is the first update. The second one is that the Israeli army is trying all the time to mislead you and to tell you that these shelters, these mosques, these schools are used by Hamas. And this time, I mean, they said that after the bombing of schools in Sirat, the bombing of schools in Deir al-Balah, and much more. But this time, they did not lie in a perfect way. They missed something because they provided a list telling that these are the Hamas members who were killed in that bombing or targeting of this mosque of the worshippers Al-Fajr prayer. Then appeared that they've published the same names before. So these people, the listed people, were killed aslan before in another massacre. And then the resistance groups and Hamas and all the political parties in Palestine announced that no fighters, no resistance fighters are between civilians or amongst civilians. Okay, they were told to be away from any civilian place, civilian shelter, so the Israelis don't have an excuse to kill the civilians. They are lying. The third update is that the Security Council is holding a meeting today to talk about this massacre. But we know, I know, and you know that they will not do anything because these massacres are ongoing for 10 months. I mean, started with Al-Ma'madani massacre, killing more than 500 people, to Khan Yunis Al-Mawasi massacre, to Nsirat massacre, and other massacres. So they will not do anything. You need to stop Israel. You need to boycott Israel. You need to tell Israel that it is a genocidal state that needs to get out of Palestine because it's an occupation. That's it. Hey, today is the Youth International Day, and in this special occasion, I want to tell you that Israel killed 24% of youth in Gaza Strip. That means it's not only a genocide, but it's also making sure that there is no one, no generation, no workforce, no intellectual capital like youth to rebuild the society or to rebuild the country after the non-stop tragedies, non-stop bombing and destroying. So while youth around the world are building their lives, building their countries, having chances, having opportunities to work there and here and to study more and to learn more, our youth are under rubble, are in tents, are killed, are missed, are took as hostages and tortured in the prisons, in the Israeli prison. So I don't think it's fair to celebrate Youth International Day anywhere on this planet while a huge number of youth in Gaza Strip are struggling to survive and then at the end being murdered. I'm a young woman from Gaza Strip, and this day doesn't give me justice and doesn't represent me actually, because 24% of youth in Gaza Strip have been killed. عارفة النزوح رقم أكم بصراحة، بس هذا المكان الجديد اللي أنا رح أضلني فيه لحد ما الجيش يوصلنا ويحكي لنا نخلي كمان مرة على منطقة تانية بيحكي عليها آمنة، بعدين يقرروا إن هي مش آمنة فيضل يجري ورانا. النزوح بينزع من البني آدم قدرته على التذكر، قدرته على التركيز، قدرته على التفكير، قدرته على الأكل والشرب بشكل سليم، قدرته على الشعور بالراحة بالأمان، على تشكيل صداقات، على البقاء مع العيلة، قدرته على كل شيء. يمكن النزوح هو أكبر تعذيب نفسي في العالم في التاريخ، وهاي المرة بنعمل بشكل جماعي. فإحنا الآن في رحلة تعذيب نفسي لأكثر من 2 مليون إنسان ممنهجة. نزحت على مستشفيات، على مدارس، على بيوت، على أماكن مفتوحة، على خيم، نزحت على كل مكان في الدنيا إلا دارنا. التعذيب النفسي بصاحبه إفقاد للأمل، هذا هو شكل النزوح.
That moment when you realize that you don't have home anymore because it is destroyed, so you decide to reshape your home, let me say. So here, this man used the rubble to build a stairs up to the roof, his roof, because his ceiling, as you see, is fallen, and he's living here under the rubble. He re-put some blocks here, and he's living here. Can you imagine how dangerous is it? Can you imagine what is he breathing? I mean, he's breathing all the time the dust of the rubble. So yeah, and that's the roof. That's how people of Khan Yunis are dealing with the reality that they are allowed to go back to Khan Yunis after being displaced for 5 months or 6 months, and after the whole city is destroyed, and that they are allowed to get back, but they cannot find anything. Yani they cannot find their homes anymore because the destruction in Khan Yunis is all Khan Yunis is destroyed. So yeah, your roof, your room, until the genocide is over. That's a new deal.
اكشفي عن الجرح اللي فوق. قد ايه عمره عبد الله؟
عمره 6 سنين.
اشوف اذا في اشي ثاني في بطنه. اشوف في اشي محدد حكوا لك عنه الدكاتره؟
حكوا لي هذه الخاصية لازم تضلك تجيبي لها براهم ونظافة أول بأول.
ورجيني في إشي تاني؟ لا بس وجهه. ماشي خلاص تمام يا حبيبي عبد الله. So this is Abdullah. Abdullah is 6 years old. He is suffering, as you saw, from some skin infection, bumbles, for قديش له؟
له تقريبا هلقيتها شهرين في الوجع.
For 2 months. For 2 months. He took 2 courses of antibiotics. He took some other medicines, but it was not enough. He also tried, his mother tried all the time to keep him clean, to clean his homes, his clothes, and they're thin despite there is no enough hygiene products. But despite this, he is still suffering. And that means that even the diagnosis of the skin infection or the diseases we are suffering from now due to the pollution, due to the dirty water and food, even the diagnoses are not true and the medicines are not enough. Okay, so Abdullah is not the only one, and see how it's.
Hey everyone, this is Bisan, and these are the updates in the day 315 of the genocide. Okay, new evacuation orders east to Deir al-Balah, new evacuation orders east to Maghazi and Brej refugee camps in the east of the middle area, of course, and Zawaida as well, the small city, more evacuation orders there. So the people in the middle area are now trying to find any place to go to, but at the same time, Rafah is still evacuated and the military operations are still going there. Khan Yunis is full, and also new evacuation orders in the middle and the east of Khan Yunis, and even some of the safe area that they call safe area. So at the end, more and more people are trying to find any place to go to, but they, at the end of the day, they fail to do this because there are not even enough places, but also there are no safe places as well. So that's it. This is the changes that we are watching. Yani nothing changed to better. Everything is changing to worse because people are tired more. Places are shrinking more, destruction is increasing. So that's it. These are the updates. More and more evacuation orders. I've been walking for 2 hours and I'm carrying everything that I can to the south. So now this bombing is near to the school that I'm living in.
يمكن النزوح هو أكبر تعذيب نفسي في العالم في التاريخ. مش عارفة النزوح رقم كم بصراحة، بس هذا المكان الجديد اللي أنا رح أضلني فيه لحد ما الجيش يوصلنا ويحكي لنا نخلي كمان مرة.
Bombing is near to the school that I'm living in. I left the hospital because the ground invasion, the tanks, the bombing is near to the hospital now, even the school I'm living in. Hi everyone, this is Bisan. I'm still alive. I've been walking for 2 hours and I'm carrying everything that I can to the south. I'm walking. Thousands are walking. Wallahi. I've seen dead bodies. I've seen a leg and a foot of people and were killed during the past week to 2 weeks. And I've seen humanitarian pieces on the ground. I can't go back to my home until the end of this war. I don't have any place to go. I'm going to the unknown. We are from the last people that evacuated the north of Gaza. About 350 to 400,000 people are still in the north. They evacuated the schools and the hospitals. I've been displaced for 2 days now. The road around me is destroyed. Many places are bombed. I'm trying to count my family members to not lose anyone because many people during this safe road lost their family members or lost their children. The road around us is bombed. By the way, they told you that there are ceasefire hours every day. This is wrong. Even the road around us is being bombed during our walking. They told you that there are 2 safe roads. It's only one. You have to walk for 3 to 4 hours. Hi everyone, this is Bisan from Gaza. We're still alive. but we are moving, we are evacuating Rafah because they cut off the internet connection and the cellular connections. We're trying to find any safe places to go to. Unfortunately, this place where we sit, where we lived for 3 months in Rafah. We are out now. We're going to Mawasi. We're going to a hospital. We don't know. We still don't know. But we are moving in a hurry because it's really scary. The internet connections to cut off and the signals to cut off. Dropping the leaflets on the middle and the west is a very scary thing. I just will miss this place. We've been here in that place for 100 days. Now we are leaving this place. Salam to this place, to this lovely place that we've made content, we've made friends, we loved, we lived, we cooked, we did a lot of things here. But now, unfortunately, it's a new goodbye added to the dozens of goodbyes in our life. We are taking the tent to another place so we can build another tent after evacuating Nasser. Now we are escaping from Nasser Medical Complex. It's maybe the 10th time to evacuate since the beginning of this genocide against us before 103 days. Now we are breaking the tent so we can build another place because the equipment and tools that anyone needs to build a tent are not available. Taking with us the wood, the nylon, the clothes and everything. Pray for us and help us to reach a ceasefire. And in this, we cannot just evacuate for more and more times. This is the second hospital to evacuate from it for me.
تعرف النزوح رقم كم بصراحة، بس هذا المكان الجديد اللي أنا رح أضلني فيه لحد ما الجيش يوصلنا ويحكي لنا نخلي كمان مرة على منطقة تانية بيحكي عليها آمنة، بعدين يقرروا إن هي مش آمنة فيضل يجري ورانا. النزوح بينزع من البني آدم قدرته على التذكر، قدرته على التركيز، قدرته على التفكير، قدرته على الأكل والشرب بشكل سليم، قدرته على الشعور بالراحة بالأمان، على تشكيل صداقات، على البقاء مع العيلة، قدرته على كل شيء. يمكن النزوح هو أكبر تعذيب نفسي في العالم في التاريخ، وهاي المرة بنعمل بشكل جماعي. فإحنا الآن في رحلة تعذيب نفسي لأكثر من 2 مليون إنسان ممنهجة. نزحت على مستشفيات، على مدارس، على بيوت، على أماكن مفتوحة، على خيم، نزحت على كل مكان في الدنيا إلا دارنا. التعذيب النفسي بصاحبه إفقاد للأمل. هذا هو شكل النزوح. نزحنا من رفح لأنه الاحتلال بلغ الناس تخلي من رفح، رمى مناشير في تاريخ 6/5، بلغهم يخلوا الساعة 8، هجم عليهم وقصفهم وطلق عليهم دبابات وجنوده ساعة بعد 2 3 ما أعطاهم وقت. بنحكي عن شرق رفح. احتل المعبر ثاني يوم، هدد الحدود 3 يوم، هدد تل السلطان وباقي الأماكن 4 يوم. رفح اللي كل العالم كان بيحكي عنها لازم تضل منطقة آمنة وخلوا كل عيونكم على رفح، ورفح خطوط حمراء مش بس تسكرت واخلوا الناس منها وتهدمت، كمان تم احتلال معبرها. أحد أهم أبطال النزوح والخيمة هاي البطارية، رحلتها معانا بدت من شمال غزة، كانت أقوى بس يعني كل شيء بضعف بعد 9 أشهر. هاي الضوء، وكانت بوقت من الأوقات كمان تشحن جوالات، تشغل مروحة مثلا. طبعا وانت نازح لازم يكون معك مية على الأقل كفاية ليوم يومين، لأنه أول ما تروح على مكان ما بتكون لسه عارف وين الأكل وين الشرب. بتحمل معك ميتك وبتحمل معك أكل. الأمهات اللي عندهم أطفال كتير بيخبزوا. عندي كمان هاي الفسحة الصغيرة قدام الخيمة، هي مش صغيرة، هي كثير ممتازة. حنولع النار أو هان ممكن نقعد، بنضيفها بعد شوي نقعد. ممكن أزرع هنا كم من حوض بس مش عارفة إذا هنستقر ولا لأ. ممكن المنطقة اللي فيها احنا بطل آمنة يعني. وهاي الحارة الجديدة أورجيكم إياها، حارتي الجديدة. خيمتي الجديدة باردة لحتى الآن، يعني الجو بدأ يولع. درجة الحرارة اليوم 36 إشي زي هيك 35، فالجو لحتى الآن كويس. بس الساعة 11، أنا خايفة من الساعة 12 1 2 3 4. الليلة كان القصف شديد جدا على مدينة رفح، شديد جدا جدا جدا. الناس كلها انخلعت قلوبها خلع وهي نايمة ووقفت يعني في العتمة لغاية ما صبح الصبح. حطوا قلوبهم مروحين طالعين نازحين. نازلة أشوف إذا في حركة نزوح عشان أنزح، لقيت الشوارع مسكرة، الدنيا زحمة، كل شيء بنقول سيارة، كارة، توك توك، شحن، ناس، بسكليتات، موتوسيكلات، كله بنقل.
الطيارة كانت تطخ علينا الليلة، والله ما نمنا، والله أنا لحتى الحين ما نمت. جينا من الشمال من جباليا بعد ما استشهدوا أولادنا، الحمد لله تمجزرت أضرب عيدة ب 120 شهيد، أولادي ب 15 واحد أولادي. نزحنا من جباليا على خان يونس، من خان يونس على رفح، هاي الحمد لله بدنا نرجع كمان نروح على خان يونس، والحمد لله والله تعبنا، اقسم بالله العظيم تعبنا، والله الساعه الموت احسن من الحياه ومن العيشه. نقل وجيب ود وحمل وجيب، ايش بدنا اكثر من هيك؟ تعب. صير عمل بطلب لك 1000 شيكل ب 800 شيكل، بقول لك كلها هنا عند بين رفح وبين خنيس 1000 شيكل. هينا مقومين نستنى رخيص، سياره رخيصه. هي والله بنبيع من اغراضنا، بنبيع معلبات، بنبيع فرشات، بطانيات، بنبيع حرامات، معلبات. ايش بدنا نسوي؟ مش لاقيين نركب.
الإخلاء معناته ساعات طويلة جدا في إعادة التمركز في مكان أو بناء الخيمة في مكان أو البحث عن مكان، وهذا معناته إنه العيلة هتضلها ساعات طويلة بدون أكل. عشان هيك في شغلة رئيسية بيعملوها الناس قبل ما يطلعوا. أولا بيعملوا وجبة الأكل حتى لو كان في الشارع بدون خيمة. ثانيا بيخبزوه قبل الطلعة، لأنه بده يطلع على مكان لسه بده يدور على مكان يجيب منه حطب أو بده يدور على فرن أو ما إلى ذلك.
احنا الحين آخر فطرنا في دوار العلام، كساية وبندورة زي ما شايفين على النار.
ليش له هذا المكان زي بيتك؟
له 6 لقيت خلص بيت جديد من الشمال على خان يونس، عرفها جينا عرفها نرجع على خان يونس، وش عارفين ايش اللي جاي، فيش مكان مثبت. يعني اقول لكم على خان يونس اليهود بياخذوا مناشير ترجع رفح، فيش مكان مثبت نثبت فيه. يعني اقول رجعونا على الشمال اريح، خيمه بس ضلنا ثابتين، ما ضلش فينا شيء نتحمل، يعني ننزح لوقتيش.
أنا الآن في منطقة العلم، منطقة مواصي رفح، وهيك بالضبط بيكون شكل الخيمة بعد ما يتم فكها. بقعة أرض صغيرة جدا فاضية، ولكنها بوقت من الأوقات كانت بيت ل7 أو 8 أفراد. الأغراض بتكون مربوطة ومصفطة فوق بعضها بأقل القليل هيك، والعيلة في الشارع بين أغراضها المربطة قاعدة بتستنى الشحن علشان يجي يحمل أغراضها.
شربنا في الشارع، نومنا في الشارع، حياتنا في الشارع. ايش بدنا نعمل؟ والعلم عند الله. احنا الحين في رفح، وهنا هي أغراضنا كنا بدنا ننزح على منطقة ثانية اللي هي حمد خان يونس. زي ما انت شايفه، انا فطرنا في الشارع، بننام في الشارع، بناكل في الشارع، وبنتحمم في الشارع. وين بدنا نروح؟
بس مجرد ما طلع الحكي انه احنا هنسيب المكان او هنخلي المكان، بدات الناس تتحرك، الناس بتمشي بشكل عشوائي مش عارفه وين تروح. ممكن يكون هذا النزوح الخامس العاشر لهم. احنا وضع المرضى تقريبا شعور الخوف هذا وارد عندهم بشكل كبير، لكن احنا بنأمن لهم بشكل عام اخلاءهم من المستشفى. كل مريض حسب مستوى التعب اللي هو ممكن نخليه حتى عن طريق اسعافات جاهزه.
هاي 3 مرة نرحل، امبارح كل الليل قصف وضرب وصواريخ وضرب نار وطخ من الطرادات وطخ من الطيارات. بدنا ننزح، ايش بدنا نرحل على منطقة ثانية. طبعا انت لما تنزح ما فيش، كل شوية صعب تلاقي لك مطرح امن، ما فيش مكان امن في غزة كلها، ما فيش مكان امن. بدك يوم، بدك اقل 24 ساعة لما تفك من مكانك، تشيل اغراضك ترحل. لما تبني لك مرة ثانية بدك يومين، من 2 ل 3 وانت بتجهز في حالك.
لما تكون عائلة بدها تنزح، بداية بتشوفوا قطع حديدية زي هيك بتكون عصي أو أخشاب بهاي الطريقة مربوطة كحزمة. هاي اللي بتستخدم لدقدقة الخيمة وتوقيفها. بعدين اللي بينحط عليها هاي الشوادر. هاي الشوادر ونايلون وقطع قماش وبطانيات زي ما انتم شايفين بتنعمل علشان تغطي الأخشاب اللي راح توقف. بعدها بينفرش على الأرض، لأنه على الأغلب إحنا بنكون في منطقة رملية. هذه الحصيرة، هاي الحصيرة وبعض الكراتين تنفرش على الأرض اللي تحوطت بالشوادر اللي وقفت على الخشب. بعدها بيجي وقت الأواعي اللي بتكون مربوطة بالطريقة هاي، أكياس طبعا، ووقت الفراش. وهاي هي الشغلات الرئيسية في كل خيمة. طبعا في خيام قدرت انها تاخد زي هاي الطاولات من المدارس اثناء نزوحها من المدارس علشان تحط عليها اغراضها وتبعدها عن الرمل. أنا الآن داخل أحد خيام قسم الولادة في المستشفى الميداني الأمريكي IMC. اللي بدي أحكيه إنه قسم الولادة وقسم العيادات الخارجية وغيرها من الأقسام المتمثلة في هاي الخيام في المستشفى الميداني اعتادت على استقبال مئات المرضى يوميا، لأنه أولا هاي النقطة الطبية هي أقرب نقطة لرفح، بالتالي أقرب نقطة لاستقبال الإصابات واستقبال ضحايا المجازر المستمرة في رفح والمستمرة بين الخيام. ثانيا لأنه هذا المكان بيخدم.
This is Bisan from Gaza. I'm still alive, and I know that we are living in the hottest era in this world. I mean it. Our world is melting due to the global warming. And I know that this is a common thing. I mean, everyone in this world is suffering from the high temperature during this summer. But imagine living this extremely hot weather as a Gazan in the genocide. Imagine spending your summer in a plastic tent 24 hours, 7 days a week for months now, or even not having a tent because you are moving all the time due to the continuous displacement. Imagine being a Gazan without an electricity for 10 months. That means no ACs, no fans, even cold water.
Since the beginning of the heat waves, since the middle of June and during July, I started suffering from skin pimples. It turns into an inflammation and a swelling of the skin and ulceration. At the beginning in Nasser Hospital, they gave me some antibiotics, but now all over again. So I don't know what to do. It really hurts, guys. I mean it. I can't walk properly. A lot of people are suffering from the same thing. All the time, I'm watching in the streets people putting bandages at the same places in their legs and feet.
مال عبد الله؟
عبد الله يعني من حد ما نزحنا لخان يونس وهو بيعاني من الحبوب والتقرحات والطفح الجلدي، وانت شايفه يعني قدامك. هذا مضاد حيوي لتجفيف الحبوب لكن ما عمل اي نتيجه معاه. هذا المضاد الحيوي للحبوب برضه ما عملتش نتيجه معاه نهائي.
ومخلصه الادويه؟
خلصت الادويه ورحنا على الاردني حكوا لنا هذول العلاجات للطفل هذا شريه تشتريهم، وانت يعني عارفه الوضع، فاحنا ما بدناش نشتري العلاج هذا بكلف علاجه. حكوا لنا هذا بديل لكن ما جاب نتيجه.
طيب وهل لقيت شو بتاعت الولد؟
ولا حاجه.
من ايش عبد الله بيعاني من طفح الجلدي؟
من حم الخيمة، من شوب الخيمة، من الرمل اللي بيقعدوا عليه الأطفال، كله ملوث. حياتنا يعني مفيش، حتى الهواء ملوث.
لما الأطباء نصحوا عبد الله نصحوه بإيش العلاقة؟ براد، مي باردة؟
يبعد عن الشوب وما يمسكش الرمل وخليه بمنطقة باردة دايما. فما فيش هوايات والدنيا حر وانت عارفة.
زادت حالته سوء؟
زادت كتير حالته، طلع كيف ظهره وجسمه وبطنه ورجليه.
I'm heading now again to Nasser Medical Complex, so maybe I can find anything to treat this. I need painkillers. I can't walk properly when I'm suffering from these skin pimples. Israeli army warned Nasser Medical Complex and told them to close the external clinics and to only treat the emergency and the wounded people. So it's official. I cannot be treated in Nasser Medical Complex. Me or any other people feel sick.
After Nasser Hospital, I tried in the Kuwaiti field hospital, and it's overcrowded. I mean it. If I stood in the line right now, maybe I will reach the doctor tomorrow. So I can't aslan stand up. I think I'm gonna buy the same medicines from the last doctor's visit and just take them again.
عمري 75 سنة، يعني مش مقدرة على الخيم أقعد فيهن. شو بنات أكدت نجوا، إحنا مش قاعدين نقعد جوا في قلب الخيم. يعني أنت شايفة أنا قاعدة هاي بطانية عاملاها معرش، باجي من الصبح بقعد هنا والعصر بتكسر علي ظلي بقعد في الشقة الثانية.
يا واعي صفية،
من وين واعي صفية؟ ما احنا بقول لك أنا طلعت من بيتي ما جبتش غير الهدم اللي علي، ما فيش ولا صيفي ولا شتوي، طلعنا زي بالهدم اللي علينا. شوفي كيف يعني طرحت هيها مخزقة من كل جميع النواحي، ما فيش حاجة نحط عروسنا، ما فيش. من وين مي باردة يا حبيبتي؟ قسما بالله العلي العظيم نشربها ساخنة، لازم سخنيها على النار من الحم اللي في الخيمة، نشربها سخنة بنشربها. من وين نجيب مي باردة؟
It's not only about hot weather. It's also about how they are trying to avoid the hot weather, building these umbrellas from the scratch, or doing other things, other alternatives.
الشرب عن جد هرانة المي اللي نشربها عشان ما تسخنش نعرف نشربها، نحطها بين البطاطين عشان نعرف نشربها ونتجرعها ونبلعها. لما بنجيبها بس بستنى ايش بيقولوا لنا الصبح بتكون حاطين فيها دواء عشان للزراعه، فبنستنى بعد الساعه 2 بقول لك بتروح الدواء. يعني بعبيها في قزاز بحطها بين البطاطين بتضلها بارده شوي. هاي انت بتشوفيها، هاي بطاطيننا وهاي المي تاعتنا الثلاجه. المي السخنه بحط الجرده لها يوم غطى من الغبر عشان البنات يتحمموا فيها عشان يسخن. على الشمس يما ايش بدي اعمل؟ كله وسخ وقلة نظافة، فيش يما ولا في شامبوهات ولا في صابون ولا فيش مواد تنظيف بالمرة. علبة الشامبو 180 شيكل ولا ما احنا قادرين نجيبها. وزي ما انتم شايفين الخيام تركيب ركبناها هيك بشوية هلاهيل وبطاطين، ولما بقف اني ما بقدر اتحمل الشوب بلاستيك ودايب كمان بنقط يعني بنصحى من النوم المي بتنقط علينا وعلى رجلينا، ملان الفراش كله ملان مي من الرطوبة.
والله في الحر بنشحن بطارية على الطاقة وبنشغلها، بس البطارية ضعيف يعني يا دوب بتشغل نص ساعة أو ثلث ساعة وبنرجع نشحنها تاني البطارية.
طب إجمالا شو بتعملوا في الشرب؟ كيف تتعامل مع هذا الموضوع؟
فتحنا الخيمة من فوق وفتحناها من تحت عشان الهواء، والمية بنجيبها بنلفها بشيطة فيها مية عشان تحافظ على برودتها.
وكيف عامل شفت قصدير من برا الخيمة؟
صحيح احنا فاتحين القصدير هذا ببرد الخيمة بيعكس الشمس.
Ironically, Israel seems to be a main factor also in this. Besides, of course, destroying homes, displacing people, cutting off electricity, cutting off water and other ways of living, the environmental results are catastrophic. And during the first 2 months, only 2 months of the genocide, more than 280,000 tons of CO2 and other greenhouse gases were released after bombing Gaza. Can you imagine this? So the genocide is literally blowing up and melting our world, and I'm so sorry to tell you this, but looks like the next summers will be even hotter because the genocide is still ongoing. And Israel bombed Gaza so far, like in 10 months, by more than 70,000 tons of explosives. So I'm so sorry, but looks like the heat will be even harder in the upcoming summers. So yeah, the genocide is destroying our beloved world.
احنا ممكن نختار ان احنا نبقى زعلانين ان بيسان مش موجوده هنا معانا النهارده، بس احنا نبقى فرحانين النهارده اتولدت اصلا. ماذا لو احتفلت بعيد ميلادك في الحرب؟
وين بيسان؟ احكي له اتكلم بصراحه ضروري.
هاي هابي بيرثداي تو يو بيسان. عيطت. وانا اول ما دخلوا عليا قلت ايه كل البيسانات اللي انا شايفاها
احنا دخلنا خافت 5 بيسانات دخلوا.
اعطيني كل واحد، يلا. انا عايزه اقول لك كل سنه وانت طيبه، وانت من اهم الناس اللي اتولدوا على الكوكب.
كل عام وانت بخير بيسان.
كل سنه وانت طيبه يا اختي، وان شاء الله يجمعنا فيكي عن قريب ان شاء الله. انا بحبك كثير، ان شاء الله الاسبوع الجاي هدني خلص.
ربنا يسعد قلبك
يا الرجاله يا الرجاله.
والله يا ماما انت اول فرحه واكبر فرحه واحلى فرحه في حياتي، ربنا يحفظك. انا بحبك يا ماما كثير، وحنشوف بعض ان شاء الله يا ماما حبيبي.
انا مش كثير بهتم بالعيد ميلاد ولا مره، يعني مرة بيكون في حوالي ناس بحسوا انه العيد ميلاد مهم، بس السنه هيك صحيت يا الله قديش في ناس بيحبوا مش موجودين. انا كثير مشتاقه لماما وخواتي، اصحابنا، دوشه كل سنه تبعد، كل شوي دق باب المكتب، اروح يدق باب الدار، كثير في زحمه وصراخ وبزعق. السنه هيك هدوء، حتى الموجود في البلد تعبان، بس انتوا عملتوا زحمه النهار.
احنا مش هنسيبك وراكي
حتى لو ايه. ساي ممكن نغني اغنيه اخيره؟ ايوه.
انزلي يا جميلة عالساحة واتمخطر كده بالراحة. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
عيني ايش؟
بنطلونك هيو.
هذا بنطلوني، هذا بنطلونك
هيو.
كارما لمسان حلو. حرامية. بنعتذر خلاص، بجيب لك واحد جديد من مصر، بنجيب لك واحد جديد. الايام الجايه ان شاء الله حلوه يا ماما، زي قلبك الحلو، ونبسط كثير بالنوايا، واحنا كلنا حواليك ومالين حياتك، واحنا بنحبك وبدناكي قويه ومبسوطه تبدي عامك الجديد هيك وانت مليانه فل. يلا العادات ايام بتحلم كيك عليها مانجا، هيها يلا حطي في بالك شيء. اسمعي يا ماما، انا حاكل عنك المانجا كلها اكلتيها.
يلا كده هو انا قطعت الكيكه. ايوه الله وبيقطع الكيكه.
يلا باي. صباح الخير.
Hi everyone, this is Bisan from Gaza. We're still alive, and today is my birthday. And we cannot celebrate anything after 11 months of the genocide, but our survival and the survival of our people. And that's why today I came here to this place, to this camp, where orphans are living after being subjected to massacres, after losing their families, their homes, after being displaced, after being in horrifying conditions. So we found some cakes. Maybe someday I will tell you about the struggles to find cakes in the genocide. But now, let's celebrate and see how the beautiful faces will smile.
عشبني الايد عالسكة مسابق رجلي، يتشنكل ويقوم والدنيا ما تقدرش عليه. عشب الصحاب مستجدع لو للأغراض، بتعاند نفسك وبتوصل لو سكة ضباب.
عايش بالطول والعرض محطوط لك من شهر، وبتصبر كل ما تتعقد وبتضحك على طول الخط.
ماشي وعالكتف هموم وعليك تتقل يوم عن يوم، لا بتتكسر ولا تتأثر، قالوا عليك لا مش هتدوم. بطل وحلوة منك دي يا قلبي يا جبل، بطل مش سهل برضو انت مفيش زيك بطل، بطل وحلوة منك دي يا قلبي يا جبل، بطل مش سهل برضو انت مفيش زيك خطر. على مين يا صعب ده انا كل قلبي قد الحياة، عاش اللي عاش واللي ما جاش رمى وراه، عمل العمايل وبطوله شايل كل ده، انا قلبي حي وانا اللي جاي، وحلوة منك دي يا قلبي يا جبل، بطل مسالم.
1 2 3. And in this occasion, and after 11 months of genocide, my wish is to keep checking and supporting the campaign, the campaign that keep helping people in Gaza Strip, watering the camps and supporting children and other encampments who are in need for everything. بس هيك so الشكل اللي إلنا إلك, donate to the campaign and keep supporting and sharing. شكرا.
So today at the morning, this guy, anonymous, I don't know who is this guy, sent me this email. And Allah yarda alayh, he made me ask a lot of questions. I mean, do really the occupation who killed 17,000 children, who cut them into pieces, killed them in brutal ways in front of their parents, or maybe let them bleed under rubble for hours before passing away, cares about saving the lives of children in Gaza? The same occupation criminals, genocidal army, who are now putting all these children in tents in horrific conditions, health conditions, let them die, literally die because of starvation, die because of the skin infections and because of the fever, because of everything. And then now they care about the vaccine, the poliovirus vaccine. Why? Actually, this email opened my eyes to other things, like who were the first people to talk about the poliovirus in Gaza Strip? What the Palestinian Minister of Health said last week about the poliovirus in Gaza Strip. Do the colonizers have this history in exploiting the vaccines to do other things for the occupied people in the future? I don't trust anything. I don't trust people. I don't trust world. I don't trust future. I don't trust humanitarian institutions. I don't trust the occupation. I only trust the memory of my people and my memory, and memorize exactly what the Israeli occupation have done to our children. The Israeli occupation intentionally killed a whole generation. 17,000 kids. Of course, other than the kids who were amputated, other than the kids who will never get back to schools after whatever they are living now. After all of this, they killed a whole generation. How can I trust these people and trust their trials to allow the vaccines to enter Gaza Strip? And by the way, something very little about the vaccines is that there is no such thing as a truce or a humanitarian truce. It's only in the hospitals, the field hospitals, or the medical clinics or field points, that will give the vaccine for the children. So a kid or a parent, okay, can be killed while going to have the vaccine or getting back from having the vaccine to their tents or their displacement camps. So there's nothing called a humanitarian truce, okay? And this humanitarian truce do not guarantee going back to our homes in the north, in the east of Khan Yunis, or in Rafah, or any other areas, okay? So stop talking about a humanitarian truce. This is misleading for me. Okay, this is an intentional misleading that tells that Israel is this humanitarian angel party that is helping the occupied people to live better. Okay, they are killing us and they are occupying us, and they're not helping us to live better. They are killing children. And like an hour ago, I witnessed like 3 dead bodies, children dead bodies, carried to the cemetery from Nasser Medical Complex to the cemetery in the middle of Khan Yunis. So these occupiers, these colonizers, these killers do not care about us or about our children or about our future. Stop believing this. Yes, shukran. Hey everyone, this is Bisan from Gaza. I'm still alive and I have a very important question, which is, where is Duha, the 8-year-old little girl from Rafah that was seen for the last time in a picture with an Israeli soldier without any of her family members? This soldier posted the picture of him and Duha last July, and later on, after people started commenting and asking about Duha, he said that he don't know anything after handling the girl to other soldiers about Duha, and that all what he knows is that her father's name is Talat, and that she was in Rafah near to the crossings, living there with an elderly. Then they were separated, the elderly away from Duha, and now he don't know anything about them both. He also refused to be hosted in any interview talking about the thing, deleted the picture, and turned his social media accounts to private accounts. Actually, this is not the first time for the Israeli soldiers to be accused by kidnapping or arresting Palestinian children. Save the Children and UN human rights organizations reported thousands of casualties who are titled under missed, abducted, kidnapped, detained, or forcibly disappeared as children, women, and girls. So here's the thing. Every time after these pictures or voice notes, as happened last December, I will tell you about that later in this video. The Israeli military spokesman rejects all of these allegations, saying that the media published about abducting children is not enough and it's baseless. Israel is not abducting children. Back to the 31st of December 2023, the Israeli Army radio broadcasted an interview with a friend of a soldier that was killed in Gaza Strip during the genocide, saying that he is soft or good-hearted, I think, because he once rescued a baby child that was crying from a destroyed home in Gaza Strip. So yeah, he killed the whole family or contributed in killing the whole family, then rescued the baby child and took her to Israel. Then the Foreign Affairs Ministry, the Palestinian Foreign Affairs Ministry, asked for an immediate investigation in this, about this child who was kidnapped from her home in the north of Gaza Strip. And then guess what? Israel denied anything about kidnapping any children. So my question now, since there are a lot of reports indicating the abducting, the missed, the kidnapping of hundreds or maybe thousands of children, what is happening for these children? What happened to them? Are they alive? Are they killed? Are they arrested? Are they adopted? Will they come back to Gaza again after 20 years as soldiers coming for killing? Okay, are they alive? Are they testing medicines on them? Did they steal their organs as they have done with hundreds of dead bodies in Gaza Strip after stealing the bodies? What is happening for these children? Who the hell will open an investigation in this and bring our children back? What is needed to happen more than everything happening to all these children to stop this nonsense, to stop this shit happening for us? This is a genocide, and some people and governments are still arguing and saying that Israel has the right to defend itself. Defend itself from whom? Israel is kidnapping our children, and no one knows the fate of these children, and no one can know. Someone need to stop Israel right now and to put it responsible for everything, to bring the children back, to rebuild Gaza Strip, to reward all the people of Gaza Strip on their patience on this nuts of the humanity. Okay? Gazan people have been patient for a long time on this shit called world and humanity. Our kids are being stolen, just like our homes and our lands. This is genocidal, definitely. This is racist, because we don't know yet what is happening for all these children, because they are Arab, because they are Palestinians living in Gaza Strip. So someone needs to stop all of this. That's it. So we are filming, we are making this video for some students who are displaced in a school and having some lessons in another school with displaced teachers, and they are all in the same car. وين رايحين؟ على البحر. So yeah, education is another struggle. Actually, more than 600,000 students are in Gaza Strip, either schools and universities, and they are all now deprived from the right to study, to go to schools, to go to universities, as the destruction in these schools and universities and educational academies and institutions is massive. So yeah, they are trying to have an hour or less than an hour a day of education, general education. It's not specified, it's not systematic. They don't have curriculums, they don't have notebooks, they don't have anything but extended provision for the fundamentals of math, the fundamentals of languages, Arabic and English. Despite they are old, they need to get appropriate education and systematic studies. That's it. We're going to continue the film, and yeah, it's busy here. Wait for it.
Then how many more have to die?
We need to find our friend. يلا يا اخوان، هذا الرصاص الامريكي اللي بيتم دعمه لحكومه الاحتلال من كل بايدن قتل شعبك، قتل ناس مواطنين امريكان، كما قتل اطفالنا في غزه وفي جنين وفي طول كرم وفي كل مكان. اوقفوا الحرب المجنونه على فلسطين. نقول للعالم اوقفوا الحرب المجنونه على فلسطين. الاحتلال الاسرائيلي وحكومه الاحتلال هي تتحمل كل المسؤولية عما يجري، والعالم الظالم الذي يدعم حكومة الاحتلال الآن هي جريمة بشعة ترتكب على أرض بيكا في جنوب نابلس ضمن مسيرة سلمية. في مسيرة سلمية يتم قتل أجانب متضامنين للسلام، هم يقتلوا السلام.
Hey everyone, this is Bisan, and for those who don't know, I used to be an honorary student. Today was supposed to be the first day in the educational year at 6 a.m. to wear my honorary uniform that I loved so much, and to go very early to the school before anyone else to take the first seat in the class, so I'm near to the teacher because I was so nerd. But then they used to put me in the third or the fourth seat because I was the tallest student in the class. Yes, even though I loved the school, I loved it very much. I loved even my university. And today was supposed to be the first day in the educational year 2024-2025. But about 630,000 students were deprived from their right in education, either in schools or universities. And this is not the first year to lose. They also lost the last year. Why? Because Israel is committing a massacre, a genocide in Gaza Strip for 11 months now, and no one is stopping them. No one is stopping Israel. No one. I used to work on the social institutions and organizations, INGOs and NGOs and CBOs, and I used always to hear about the children's rights, the education, the informal education, the opportunities for youth and for children, for women, the educational blah blah blah. Where are all of these people talking about this and funding projects, huge projects, to educate youth and women and children? Where are they? No one is here. We're alone here. We're alone here without health rights, without educational rights, without any rights, without even the right of living, surviving. So just to say that 100% of the universities were either destroyed, and the majority were destroyed, and a little number were partially damaged. 70% or 70% of the honorary schools were destroyed. 90% were shelters for displaced people when they were destroyed. So yeah, the schools are now shelters, the universities are destroyed. People in Gaza are losing their lives without having appropriate education. That's it. This is intentional attempts by Israel and all its allies and people supporting the genocide to drive this people to ignorance. I mean, before the genocide, 99% had education, knew how to write, to write and to read. But now, yeah, it's different now. Let me talk about all these people who are turning 6 years and 7 years and 8 years now without even have the ability to write their names, to spell their names, to do anything. Haram. Wallahi haram. Khasara. That's a loss. That's a loss. In the normal condition, before the genocide, people used to have masters. All of them went to schools. All of them have like high educational certificates. But now look at all these generations who don't have even the ability to enter the primary schools or anything. Let's take wallah. So I don't know, what if the genocide stopped now? Who would educate all of these people? I mean, even the teachers were killed. Thousands of thousands of students were killed. Schools are destroyed. Everyone, this is Bisan from Gaza, surviving the day 341 after genocide, and I'm now in Mawasi, Khan Yunis. So tonight, after the midnight, actually, the Israeli army committed a massacre here. If you don't know Mawasi area is a sandy, natural, it's a coastal area. That's why people here are living on sand, okay? They're building their tents from nylon and clothes and blankets in on the sands. So when the Israeli army tonight bombed them using 5 huge missiles, each is 2,000 pounds, they caused this massive holes, 3 craters, like each is 9 meters depth, and that caused actually not only in the bombing of the place, disappearing of the whole place, but also some of the tents and the property and even bodies flow to this area besides the bombing. Like, you need to know that the civil defense spent the whole night searching about dead bodies, and entire families were buried under the rubble under the sand after this bombing. They found 40 dead bodies, 40 people were killed until now, 60 injured best. Until this moment, a lot of people are missing because simply people were sleeping in their tents, living on sand. So they were bombed, killed and buried under the sand. The civil defense said that it's nearly impossible to find everything and even all the human pieces and all the bodies, but they're still searching until now. The destruction is massive in the area where am I now. I mean, this is the bombing area. These are the shrapnels and the destroyed camp besides the area, and here is the same thing, and there also. Look at the greenhouses there and there. Like, you need to know, after all of this destruction, the Israeli representatives and military spokesmen said that they took all the procedures to protect civilians and to minimize the deaths between civilians. If they took all procedures and this is the result, I don't want to imagine how would be the result if they did not take any procedures or tried to protect the civilians. So they are lying as usual, as they lied about the safe areas before. Look at this hole. Look at this hole. It's about 9 meters depth, caused by 5 bombs. Each is 2,000 pounds, US made, 2,000 pounds bombs. Look at the whole destruction. ايش كنت بتحكي لك فرج؟
طلع كيف البلح اسمر من كتر البرود.
شوف التراب شلونه.
كيف دايما صار.
انت وين ساكن؟
قدامي شوية. صحيت وقالوا لي، قالت لي امي قف بسرعة، وبعدها رحنا نمنا عند دار خالي. شفنا أشلاء ومقطعين ورؤوس وسرحين.
The thing is that because they are until now searching about human pieces and dead bodies, the smell is still until now as blood, as dead bodies. The gunpowder is everywhere. Look at the trees, look at the sand itself, look at the color of the sand. The smell is also gunpowder. So my question now, is anyone still working or believing in working for a ceasefire? Because for me, I don't believe in a ceasefire. I don't believe in anything that Israel is talking about or telling us to do or telling us to go, because this is the only safe area in Khan Yunis, and here we are being killed even here. So nothing is happening but more and more death. Nothing. Look, so the bombing is over there. Okay? And the destruction is over here. And they're telling you, they're lying to you. They're lying on your eyes and telling you that they took the procedures, the enough procedures to protect civilians. Wallah, I just wonder if not. The destruction will just reach you, if not Israelis. Everyone, this is Bisan from Gaza. I'm still alive in the day 340 of the genocide. That's a miracle. I don't know I'm lucky or not, and I can't tell you that I'm so happy, because lucky those people who did not witness what happened during the past 11 months of the genocide. But I'm surviving. I don't know how. I'm surviving. So I'm gonna tell you a story about number 11, but not 11 months like our case, 11 days. Like what happened in Jenin and Jenin refugee camp. The day before yesterday, the Israeli army withdrew from Jenin and Jenin refugee camp in the north of the West Bank after 11 days of a military operation. So they launched this military operation for 11 days. They destroyed the infrastructure, the streets, the majority of the streets. We're talking about 70% of the streets. They put on fire on the malls, markets, and homes. They displaced people after cutting of food, medicine, water, and electricity. And you can relate that this is the same technique of how they succeeded in fleeing people from the north of Gaza Strip to the south of Gaza Strip. Of course, adding that they kept bombing us and killing us to force us to leave, to evacuate the north of Gaza Strip. Anyways, so they also killed about 20 people, at least 20 people, children, mothers, fathers, civilians, in Jenin and the Jenin refugee camps. They also launched the same operation Tul Karim city and Tul Karim refugee camps, the same in Nablus and Nablus refugee camp. So the thing is, they are launching these military operations in the refugee camps particularly, and in the West Bank in general. What is the story of the West Bank? In 1948, the Israeli troops, the Zionists, committed massacres in the cities and villages of Palestine, and I mean the historical Palestine. Of course, after the British colonization handed them the land and the weapons and the power, and of course approved all of these crimes, and we can talk about this more in another video, but now let us focus about the West Bank. So after this, they occupied the whole of Palestinian lands except the West Bank and Gaza Strip. Is this enough? Of course not, because it is an occupation. Israel is an occupation, and that's why they will all the time want to occupy more lands, to steal more lands. So in 1967, they occupied the West Bank in Gaza Strip and started building what? Settlements. And that's why until now there are settlers in the West Bank, but there is no settlers in Gaza Strip for many reasons that we can explain in another video. Thus, until now, the Israeli government and the settlements daily steal more lands, more Palestinian lands from the farmers, from their owners, and then build more and more settlements. During the last 5 years and more after the 7th of October, the settlers became more extreme. They started attacking people, attacking their farms, burning the homes of the people, burning the villages, trying to steal more and more lands, and all of this by the protection of the Israeli army. Now, what is the point of all of these attacks on the north of the West Bank and the camps, the refugee camps? What happened after the 1948 massacres and the forced displacement of 800,000 Palestinians from their lands in the 1948 occupied Palestinian lands that are now called Israel? They were displaced to the refugee camps in the West Bank, Gaza Strip, Jordan, Syria, and Lebanon. Okay? What is the most important thing for the Israelis now? To delete, to omit something that called the Palestinians and the right to return for the refugees. What is to destroy the refugee camps and the concept of refugees, you know, the concept of displacement. And that's why they destroyed Jabalia refugee camp, Khan Yunis refugee camp, Shati refugee camp, the refugee camps, the 2 refugee camps in Rafah right now, in Gaza Strip. They don't want anything related to the return of Palestinians or the term of a refugee anymore. And that's why they are still, until now, attacking the refugee camp in Tul Karim, and they have attacked and destroyed the refugee camp in Jenin. So that's it. They are copying the same techniques in Gaza Strip because you are silent, you're not doing anything, you're not stopping them. So they are testing the techniques on a small scale, which is Gaza Strip. Then they apply it in a wider scale, which is the West Bank. And even in the West Bank, it will be easier because they can hire the settlers, the extreme settlers, you know, to attack Palestinians and to kill them and to kidnap their children. Not only this, but also to kill anyone who is standing for Palestine or standing in solidarity with Palestinians or farmers there, like Aisha, who was killed by an Israeli weapon because she was standing protesting against the stealing of the Palestinian lands. And guess what the US has done? They asked Israel to start an investigation. The same investigation that they started when they killed 6 employees, humanitarian workers in the WCK 3 or 4 months ago. Yeah, the same investigations that are asked from the criminals about their crimes. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the whole story of course, in conclusion, okay? This story is longer than this, with more details, and I would be happy to tell you the story one day. If you want me to start a series talking about how everything started, just comment below, and I'll be happy to start this, okay? Now, what is the most precious moment for this, and all of this for me? Okay. The scenes of the Palestinians and people of Jenin returning after 11 days to Jenin, cleaning the roads, opening the roads with the bulldozers, and returning to their homes and opening their markets and trying to get back to their homes, to their markets, to their work, to their schools. Today they started the school. I just want to get back to Gaza Strip after these 11 months or whatever. To Gaza City, I mean, to the north of Gaza, and start cleaning. Of course, we will not be happy. It will not be this magical moment like Jenin's moment, because we will return back to the north without 50,000 people of our beloved ones. We will go to search under the rubble about our family members who were killed and buried under the rubble. But at least I want to return back. I want to go back. I want to clean the streets, go to my home, clean and build and rebuild everything, and to start my life again, to start our lives. I want to see my neighbors, the surviving neighbors. I want to see all the people. I've done this before. After the 2021 Israeli escalation in Gaza Strip, it was only 8 days, but at the very first morning after the ceasefire, I just went with thousands of youth cleaning the streets. I want to go back to this moment. I want to do it again. Our love to our beloved people in Jenin. الله يرحم الشهداء ويطلع الأسرى بالسلامة ويشفي كل الجرحى ويا رب إن شاء الله the ceasefire will be soon, will be near, and we will just go back to our homes to have time even to mourn our martyrs and beloved people who were killed. That's it. Long story. But this is the conclusion, believe me. I'm so happy for those who had the ability to return back to their homes even after the army evacuated them. And I really want to be in this position like sooner inshallah, not later. شكرا.
Hey everyone, this is Bisan from Gaza, and today we are taking a huge step for us in اللي إلنا إلى campaign. We now have our own water distribution truck. جاهزين يا شباب؟ يلا.
Hey, isn't it strange that when you mention the 11th of September or the Holocaust in front of anyone around the world, they immediately respond, never again. But when you mention the Palestinian Nakba, when the Palestinians lost about 80% of their lands until now, since 1948, no one says never again. Instead, they say, this is something politically complicated, I can't talk about it, but I am with the Israelis' right to defend themselves because they are the only democracy in the whole Middle East, in the horror, in the Absar Shu of the Middle East. Or they can say that you can't talk about this because you're anti-Semitic. What? No, I'm a Palestinian who was forcibly displaced for 76 years, and my home is still there in the 1948 occupied lands that you call Israel. And some people were born in the US, in East Europe, in Russia, are living there because they are Israelis. Yeah, and Israel is only 76 years old, but Palestine is thousands. Educate yourself, people. Educate yourself. I can't just deal with those people who until now don't know anything about the Palestinian cause and about the 1948 Nakba. Educate yourself, people. Hey everyone, this is Bisan from Gaza, talking to you from the day 345 of the genocide. And tonight the Israeli army committed a massacre on Lebrej refugee camp. Lebrej refugee camp is a small, very crowded, honorable refugee camp in the middle area of Gaza Strip, in the east of the middle area of Gaza Strip. And people living there are either displaced because no other places to go to, especially after a year of an ongoing genocide, or people Aslan used to live in a refugee camp and to deal with all the struggles and hardships of their lives even before the genocide and until now. So today, the Israeli army bombed their homes over their heads without any warning as usual and buried 80 people under the rubble. The civil defense is working tirelessly from last night until now to rescue the people from under the rubble. But how can they rescue anyone? How can we be hopeful to rescue anyone while the civil defense is working tirelessly to grab people from under the rubble for 12 months? We don't even have equipment to rescue these people. I've just heard a story about a little girl that was rescued only 12 hours after being stuck under the rubble. The first thing she told 12 hours. The first thing she told the civil defense about is, why did you leave me 4 days under the rubble? Where were you? I've just heard this story about a girl that was rescued after the bombing of her home and after she was stuck under the rubble by the civil defense. So this girl was rescued after 10 to 12 hours of the bombing of her home by the civil defense. And the first thing that she told them after being rescued is, why did you leave me 4 days under the rubble? She thought that one night or the 10 hours was 4 days. You need to know that the bombing of the people and being alive under the rubble is not that easy or a simple thing like she was stuck under the rubble. No, these people are without air, without water, without food, in the darkness, alone, hearing nothing but the screams of people around them, or maybe the death of their beloved ones around them who are injured, for example, with heavy tons of concrete over them. Okay, it's not that easy. Can you imagine that these people, the only hope for them to survive is the civil defense that is tired, without equipment, without safety, being targeted for 12 months? It's so hard for these people to survive. Can you imagine that 10,000 people are now stuck under the rubble? Until now, since the beginning of the genocide, all of these people, or maybe a lot of them, were alive, but no one rescued them. The civil defense was not able to rescue them. Can you tell me what is the fate of 80 people are under the rubble after this bombing last night? Maybe a lot of them are alive, waiting for their turn to be rescued right now. And maybe some of them are bleeding, injured, cannot breathe, babies, children, pregnant women. All of these people are without any hope right now because the Israeli army bombed their homes while sleeping. That's it. Getting water is something truly challenging here in Gaza because people have to walk for long distances, and I mean it, kilometers, to have some free water, or they will buy it from vendors walking in the streets. That means you cannot guarantee that it was filled in a clean way. As you see around me, they don't have any infrastructure, any water supplies, any drinking water around them. Look at that little girl there. She's so happy. She's the first in the line. She's the first in the line. أيوة. برافو.
اسمي ليان وعمري 7 سنين.
لمين بتعبي المية؟
إلنا.
طب مين بيساعدك؟
أنا وبنات عمي وأختي.
وين ساكنين؟ أشري لي.
هذا الشارع بنلف هيك وبتلاقي شارع بنخش منه.
كل هذا بتمشوا بالجلان؟
بدنا نشيل عبين ما يجي أخوي بننقلها على كروسة.
شفتك أول وحدة على الدور نشيطة.
عشان كنا نستنى المية.
طيب احكي لي كم مرة بتعبي مية في اليوم؟
مرتين، مي حلو ومي مالحة.
So kids, instead of waiting in lines to enter their classes and their schools, they are waiting in lines to have water. Instead of being in a healthy environment, in an educational environment, they are between the rubble, on the dust, carrying heavy tanks and heavy gallons to afford water to their families.
Before the genocide, about 90% of Gaza's drinking water came from the aquifer on the coast. During Israelis' blockade of the Gaza Strip, this water was already mixing with the salty seawater, sewage, and chemicals. Since the genocide started, Israel has destroyed all the wastewater treatment plants and 70% of the sewage pumps. So now, the water is even more contaminated, and we have more diseases, including polio. So they are intentionally trying all the time to deprive the Gazans from the access to clean water.
الطابق اللي فوق هذاك العمود الابيض هي الشقه تبعنا.
ايش شعورك وانت مخيم جنب بيتك اللي واقع؟
والله يأس، احباط. يعني انا لي 3 شهور نازح هنا قاعد عقبال في بيتي. من اسبوعين حسيت باليأس لما قعدت اطلع اغراض من الدار واجي والدمار الموجود. اصعب شيء بنواجهه دائما في اي نزوح، اول شيء اللي هو طبعا الشيء المادي، وبعدين توفر المياه. عندنا المياه بتكون يعني شحيحه جدا، سواء كانت مي استخدام ادمي او مي صالحه للشرب. والمي الحلو يعني كل فتره لما تجينا كار حاجه بنعبي منها القرن ب4 شيء. يعني معنا يعني ما بتقعد تقريبا من 7 ل 8 ساعات عشان تعبي قلنين مي حلوه. لأن غاط السنة فاتح تقف عليه 3-4 ساعات، ممكن يصير تاخذ لك جردلين وبقول لك خلص الدور. يعني أنا بالضبط إلي تقريبا 3 أيام ما عبيت الجردلين مي مالحة. خذ اشرب، تعال اشرب مي. كان في يوم عندنا كنا نازحين في رفح وخلصت المي من عندنا، فضل الأطفال يعني بدهم يشرب مي، قاعدة عيطة. فمن المي اللي بنستخدمها من الاستخدام الآدمي يعني صبرناهم في الولاد، كل واحد يعني يشرب شوي حتى نصبر حالنا لثاني يوم قبل ما نقدر نجيب مي حلو.
بكتيريا وفطريات، فعند الأولاد الأطفال كلهم حرارة وصار معهم نزلات معوية.
حالات التلوث والأوبئة انتشرت آخر فترة بشكل كبير جدا، بصورة غير مسبوقة لم يعهدها أو لم تعهدها قطاع غزة قبل هيك. يعني احنا خايفين نصل لمرحلة انه الامراض المتوسطة ممكن تؤدي الى هتك حياة انسان بسبب نقص الادوية، عدم وجود اماكن لدخول المستشفى. الازمة اللي بتصير حاليا في اعتقادي ان اكبر من اكبر نظام صحي موجود في العالم.
So the building behind me is not a residential building. It's an infrastructure to several wells. People in the Al-Mawasi area are literally thirsty. There is no enough water, while wells like these are not working because there is no fuel.
كله متوقف بسبب قلة الوقود، كله واقف، فيش ماء خالص.
This is literally targeting the infrastructure and any way of living.
Not only drinking water, but farmers are also struggling to water their crops, especially in this heat or this weather. Before the genocide, the Al-Mawasi area was an agricultural area, and like thousands of square kilometers were used to plant vegetables and fruits to whole people in the north and in the south of Gaza. But now, as you see around me, the plants, this is eggplants. So the agriculture is dry. There is no water.
هذه الحبة لازم يكون وزنها أقل حاجة كيلو، شايف قد وزنها؟ لا تتعدى 10 جرامات الحب. كان يغطي يعني على مدار السبوع كنا نقطف منه تقريبا 10 طن. الآن ما نقطفش منه 100 كيلو. الأرض هذه أرض خصبة جدا، ولكن بعد 7 أكتوبر الأرض هذه تعرضت لقطع التيار الكهربائي، فرحنا جبنا مولد عشان يطلع من الغاطس تبعنا مية من قاع الأرض. السولار كان في بداية الحرب رخيص ووفرناه، ولكن الآن لتر السولار ب 65 شيكل، فمش قادرين. فهي خضرتنا الحمد لله رب العالمين، هذا هي راحت كلها منا. احنا الآن في قطعة أرض هذا كانت تستخدم للزراعة، فالآن احنا سوينا هذا تكية، والماء بنوفره بنشتري الكوب ب 140 شيكل، كوب المية الحلوة عشان نطبخ فيه للناس. نستخدم يوميا 2 كوب ونص تقريبا مية حلوة، 350 شيكل تقريبا بنصرف يوميا ماء يوم ما نطبخ.
This is the first step in each distribution, where we fill the tanks and the vehicles with drinking water before carrying them to the neighborhoods where we will distribute. And it's one of the only 2 or 3 providers for drinking water in the whole of Gaza Strip. Oh, عالية.
This is complicated. The streets are bombed. We were not able to bring the bigger vehicle to this area because the streets are close to this area. So the bigger vehicle got stuck in the sands before getting here, so we got this vehicle. But I know that the only solution for this is to cease fire and to normally reach the water to the houses of people after they are rebuilt. This is not normal, this is not the solution, this is not an alternative, this is not aslan an option to let people wait in this heat, extreme heat, to grab some water.
okay, my cell phone did not explode yet, so I'm still alive. But seriously, people, you need to be careful. There is no way back after what happened in Lebanon in the previous 2 days. Israel now is intentionally, shamelessly, without any fear of any kind of responsibility in front of the whole world, exploiting the technology that all of your lives rely on to track, to attack, to explode, or to kill you whenever they want and wherever you are. No matter you are in a school, in a hospital, in a kindergarten, in your home with your children, with your family, no matter. In the market, in a crowded place, in transportation, no matter. All what they need is to manufacture some products, putting the explosive materials in, and then to sell these products in your country. And voila, with a press on the button, mass killing of thousands of people. And this is not a joke. This is not a science fiction. This is not the World War III. This is what Israel has done in Lebanon for thousands of people for 2 days in a row. At the beginning, blowing up beggars, then in the second day, blowing up laptops, cell phones, TV screens, touching screens, car radios, and much more machines. Killing more than 15 people. A lot of people lost their eyes, their ears, their hands, some parts of their bodies because of the explosions. Can you imagine that you are working in the medical field, working on any other field that you prefer to hold a walkie-talkie or a bagger on your hand for communication, and then it's exploded and you lose your both eyes and your ear because Israel is allowed to mass kill people, and no one until now, no government, no country until now condemned what Israel has done in Lebanon. Starting a war, killing people. Israel until now is not holding any accountability. No one boycott Israel until now in the technology field, in the economic field. No one. If that happened, if blowing up about 4,000 people's cell phones and walkie-talkies and laptops, if that happened in any other city, like New York or any other place, it will be a terror attack that might be worse than the 11th of September. After that, the world will take care about the technology, manufacturing, about everything. But because it's happening for Arabs and by Israel, no one is talking about it enough. They're talking about it like something normal happened in a war, something legitimate. But governments are not moving toward holding Israel accountable for this. Today is the day 350 of the genocide, and the Israeli army has just committed a new massacre in the north of Gaza Strip in an UNRWA school in the Zaytun neighborhood, sheltering hundreds of people who were forcibly evacuated and displaced from their homes and neighborhoods by bombing them. I just wonder this time, what will the Israeli army claim to target in this school? Because until now, all the footage that I saw about this massacre was for children's bodies turned into black because they were burnt. And body pieces, they cut children into pieces. Don't you see? It's clear. They're just trying to empty the north of Gaza Strip by all ways, trying hardly since the beginning of the genocide. First, by mass killing people, by committing massacres in hospitals and schools and sheltering areas, by evacuating people in all ways, by arresting people, detaining them, kidnapping them, burying them alive, by the forced starvation, the real famine that they are still until now suffering from, by committing massacres when they are trying to have any food, like the flour massacres. They're trying to empty the north of Gaza Strip. Last week, I was reading about a plan to empty the north of Gaza Strip, turning it into a military area, then getting it ready to new illegal Israeli settlements full of Israeli settlers and thieves. This is not new. This is not far from the Israelis, because they did the same thing in the West Bank and they're still doing it. But my message now is, don't deny it. Don't deny it. They're stealing the land and trying by all brutal ways to empty it from the people, either by killing them all slowly, since you're giving them time until ending this madness, or by forcing them by their brutality and starvation and targeting of children to leave. That's it. A new massacre. Hey everyone, Instagram has just deleted my video where I was talking about the Israeli army copying the same techniques they used in Gaza Strip in a whole year of genocide in the past couple of days in Lebanon. And actually I understand Instagram, I totally understand Instagram, because for 70 years Israel was killing people without anyone arguing it. But now, because of the social media thing, people are becoming around the world crazy and mad and pointing at Israel, telling Israel that it is a criminal state. It is a genocidal state. So they don't want to repeat the mistake. They want the Lebanese people to be killed silently. That's why they are censoring the content talking about Lebanon. And that's why there is no enough media talking about Lebanon in English or in any other language. Everyone is copying the same Israeli narrative, that they are chasing the terrorists in Lebanon. And at the same moment that they are censoring the content coming from Lebanon and about Lebanon, the Israeli army bombed ambulances today and a governmental hospital in Tibnin. They also are bombing in the north of Lebanon, not only in the south of Lebanon, not only in the evacuated areas. Today, about 500,000 Lebanese are displaced from their homes and they don't know when they are returning. Schools that are open for the displaced people are not enough. There is an electricity problem and economic problem in general, crisis in Lebanon. But for the electricity problem, there is no electricity in these schools that are opened now for the Lebanese, for the displaced people, the 500,000 displaced people. About 700 people got killed until now. About 500 of them are during 24 hours. No one is talking about this enough. They are focusing on the Israeli narrative, and they're censoring the material coming about Lebanon. Keep your eyes on Lebanon.
The nominees in Outstanding Hard News Feature Story Short Form are Clarissa Ward reports from Rafah Field Hospital in Gaza, CNN. Haiti in Crisis, PBS NewsHour, PBS. How I Survive, a 7-year-old's life in Gaza, The Guardian Focus, The Guardian. I Cry Quietly, a soldier describes the toll of Russia's war, The New York Times. It's Bisan from Gaza and I'm Still Alive, AJ Plus reports, AJ Plus.
And the Emmy Award goes to... It's Bisan from Gaza, and I'm still alive. AJ Plus. AJ Plus reports.
Accepting the Emmy, John Lawrence, Senior Executive Producer.
The carpet bombings happened in the streets without any warning, and people are killed every single moment. This is a really tough day that Gaza are going through.
They bombed the door of the hospital. They bombed. I've been there before 2 minutes.
We'd like to thank the Academy for this recognition. This award is testimony to the power of one woman, armed only with an iPhone, who survived almost a year of bombardment. Over 100 Palestinian journalists have been killed in Gaza, including several of our Al-Jazeera colleagues. Our bureau in the occupied West Bank was shut down at gunpoint just last week. We thank you, our journalistic community, for this recognition for Bisan and for the AJ Plus team, and we urge you to join us in saying that journalism is not a crime. Thank you so much.
And the Emmy Award goes to... It's Bisan from Gaza, and I'm still alive. AJ Plus. AJ Plus reports.
Accepting the Emmy, John Lawrence, Senior Executive Producer.
The carpet bombings happened in the streets without any warning, and people are killed every single moment. This is a really tough day that Gaza are going through.
They bombed the door of the hospital. They bombed. I've been there before 2 minutes.
We'd like to thank the Academy for this recognition. This award is testimony to the power of one woman, armed only with an iPhone, who survived almost a year of bombardment. Over 100 Palestinian journalists have been killed in Gaza, including several of our Al-Jazeera colleagues. Our bureau in the occupied West Bank was shut down at gunpoint just last week. We thank you, our journalistic community, for this recognition for Bisan and for the AJ Plus team, and we urge you to join us in saying that journalism is not a crime. Thank you so much.
The terrorist Israeli army has just committed a new massacre in Beirut an hour ago. Beirut is a very crowded city, and it's even more crowded now after the high number of displaced people from the south and the east of Lebanon. The Israeli army destroyed 4 residential buildings, and to do this, they used heavy, very heavy bombs. We're talking about more than 5 bombs, each weighs about 2,000 pounds. And that means it's not only able to destroy the building itself, but also to cause damage to the surrounding buildings and to dig into the ground. The ambulances and the emergency and the civil defense staffs are not able to deal with the high number of injuries and with the high numbers of appeals to rescue people from under the rubble after all of this bombing. This is after about 6 days after the Israeli army opened fire on civilians, actually, and civilian infrastructure in all Lebanon. It's not a new thing for Israel, because Israel is violating the international law, violating the humanity itself, violating everything on this planet for a year, actually, in Gaza genocide. But now, hi everyone, this is Bisan talking to you from Gaza. Alhamdulillah, thanks God I'm here. Surviving another day, and it's been almost a year since the genocide, began. 2 months ago I was saying to myself, Bisan, hang on, it's gonna end soon. Cause it's maximum gonna end before the 7th of October 2024. Cause why to carry on a genocide for Israelis? Why to carry on a genocide since Gaza is destroyed, Gazans are destroyed, and no targets left? it's an unfortunate, of course, for the Israelis, because I know they want to keep bombing and killing people and massacring them, because no one is stopping them apparently, but no targets left. Now Israel expanded its genocide to Lebanon, at the same time bombing Syria, Yemen, Iraq. Ironically, everyone saying no to the oppression, to the occupation, to the colonization, and to the killing of innocent indigenous people like the Palestinians. But my question now, what is the end game for Israel? What is the time that is the time to end the genocide and to stop killing people? When is the time? I see everything is just expanding and getting bigger and bigger and out of control more and more. I mean, the world control, of course, it's out of the control of us as Arabs, Palestinians, Lebanese, Syrian, Yemeni, Iraqi people, long time ago, decades. But when is this gonna end? I mean, 2 days, like in the massacre happened in Al-Dahia, they used about 85 tons of explosive force. They killed, actually, they killed 400 people that the bodies almost disappeared, vanished. And the world did not say a word about this, only a word about the people who were killed in that night, because Israel has the right to defend itself against whom? Israel is the only occupier, the only oppressor in the whole region, in the whole Middle East. Guys, believe me, we are all Arabs except them. They're not Arabs, they're colonizers. Anyways, this is not my point. But Lebanon is under bombing, continuous bombing, displacement. The Israelis are threatening the south of Lebanon of a ground invasion, which we all know what does it mean when Israel is the invader, because that means that they are taking over lands and stealing lands actually for a long time, and then, you know, suddenly a settlement is built. Suddenly people are living in this settlement. Suddenly it's their lands and they have the right to defend themselves. So I don't know. At the same time, the bombing is ongoing in Gaza. And the day before yesterday, the Israeli army bombed a school, Al-Fakhura school in Jabalia. The target was a woman baking bread on a mud oven. It's a traditional oven that we Palestinians make, since there's no ovens in kitchens because of the genocide, you know. So we're building our ovens made in mud and using mud. And this woman was baking her bread at the gate of the school. They bombed the woman and they caused a massacre. A lot of displaced people in Jabalia and the north of Gaza Strip were killed. The night before, they took over and destroyed 500 acres. Do we say acres? I will just translate it here. I don't know the word. That were planted with potatoes and eggplants. So the people of the north of Gaza Strip, instead of facing the starvation with their empty hands, the starvation that Israel is applying on them, they try to be sufficient a little bit by planting some food. Okay, it's not enough. It's maybe enough for tens of families living around these lands. They destroyed the lands with their bulldozers and took over the lands by fire. No one can go there from Beit Lahia people. So any attempt to be sufficient, to have food security, to be able to survive is not acceptable. And yet they are discussing a new plan to empty the north of Gaza Strip, to turn it into a military area, then to prepare to build settlements there. So my question again is, what is the end game of this? What Israel want? Really, what Israel wants, guys? Because any attempt of life, of living, of surviving, of solving any problems, finding alternatives is gonna bomb. The genocide is expanding to our beloved brothers, sisters, families, our beloved people in Lebanon and other areas around Israel, around the occupied lands of Palestine. Looks like a curse, being Palestinian or saying no for the occupation. الله يرحم شهدائنا، المجد والخلود لهم، والله يرحم كل المقاتلين للحرية، كل الطواقين إلها، كل اللي بيحلموا فيها، كل اللي بيحكوا لأ، كل الأقوياء بكل الأشكال، كل الشجعان. This is Bisan from Gaza. It's the day 361 of the genocide. I was filming here in a camp near to Nasser Medical Complex, near to a lot of camps, and then suddenly a near bombardment happened. Look there. All of these places are tents, and there is the bombing, the smoke. It's a fire. Looks like tents are on fire, unfortunately. Look at kids here watching. They're near to the bombing. A school for displaced people, as you see here, is where displaced people are living, even in destructed places. So this is the second bombing today over camps. I was filming and I filmed everything. I was filming like this, and then the destruction was behind me. The fire is still here. The kids are here. Hi everyone, I'm gonna show you a wide image from a place and from a view, one of my favorite views. Let me show you this. Yalla. First of all, our beloved sea there. Here is the water line for the entire camp. There, some students, some little students behind the Palestinian flag exercising and getting ready for an informal educational day. This is their school, this tent in the middle of the whole square. Another Palestinian flag over a camp. As you see, people are moving. They woke up early because people in the tents, in the displacement, cannot sleep, tight during the night, because sleeping in tents is not comfortable, either in cold days or hot days. Warning us, it's early, wake up. Here, Ammo, he was cleaning a pot, and there sands, and here some crops, some agricultural areas. There, a lot of palms. This is the entrance of Khan Yunis, between Deir al-Balah and Khan Yunis. And yeah, I'm so proud of being here despite everything. Displacement is really ugly, is really hard. Living in tents is almost impossible after all of these events we're living, but I'm so proud of us, so proud of these people, of the children, of everyone. These volunteers, teachers, look at this, exercising with the kids. Yeah, my people knows how to survive, and we will make it until the end of this. We will survive despite this world. I'm so proud that I'm a part of this people, a member of this huge family. Inshallah, we will see better days soon. Until a free Palestine, a free Gaza, free people, and justice. Hi everyone, this is Bisan and this is what happened yesterday. In Lebanon, the Israeli army is non-stop bombing different areas, not only in the south actually, where they told people to evacuate from, but also in the north and the middle and in high population areas and high population major cities like Beirut, for example, without telling people to evacuate from actually as usual. So yeah, don't let them lie to you about the evacuation thing, because they are bombing in all areas of Beirut. And as you know, after every bombing there will be the Red Cross, the ambulances trying to rescue people. So what will the Israeli army do? Yes, bomb them. Since the beginning of this escalation on Lebanon, more than 40 ambulance men were killed. 9 of them were killed yesterday after the Israeli army targeted their staff. And also the Israeli army tried twice to invade or to start their ground invasion, military operation from the south of Lebanon, while the Lebanese resistance group, as you know, Hezbollah, prevented them from entering Lebanon twice in 2 days in a row. In Palestine, in the West Bank, the Israeli army for decades actually have not used the F-16 to bomb a place in the West Bank. But yesterday, they bombed a cafe in Tul Karim, killing about 20 Palestinians, children among them. In Palestine, Gaza Strip, my beloved city, it's insane. The bombing is non-stop, guys. Wallahi, is non-stop. Tonight was crazy. I used to, because I'm living in Mawasi area near to Rafah, I used to hear these like loud bombings and high sounds because the Israeli army is non-stop destroying Rafah. Okay, they flattened huge areas of Rafah, maybe the majority of Rafah. But this night, the bombings were shaking the ground under me. Bombing was so loud, I maybe woke up like 10-12 times during the night, scared. Because I was thinking it's closer than Rafah. Then in the morning, the bombing is not around us. So yeah, all of these sounds are in Rafah. Tons and tons and tons of explosive force that shakes the ground and cause this huge loud sound. You will notice my speech later in the upcoming couple of weeks. But the amounts of food in the markets are decreasing in the south and in the north. The amounts of food are decreasing. The Israeli army is allowing limited, they decrease the amount that it is allowed to enter Gaza. Limited food amounts are entering Gaza. So the food is decreasing. Sugar, cooking oil, prices are increasing, and some other goods like canned food, for example. But these are the Zionists' achievements for yesterday. Hey everyone, this story is to show you how disastrous the situation right now in Gaza Strip is. So I was coordinating for filming with a child, and I asked him about his age. He told me I'm 10 years old. Then his grandfather told him, are you sure 10 years old? And then he said 8 years old. And then the grandfather again, are you sure this time? Then he told his grandfather, answer you, okay, because I don't know. The grandfather told us that he is about 6 years old, or 6 years old and months, and that he has never been to a school before because of the genocide. Because now we're entering the second educational year without any student, entering a school, learning the initial writing and reading skills. So this is the situation now. A kid is reaching 6 years and 7 years, 8 years old without learning how to write their names, without learning how to know their ages, to start a conversation, to answer questions, to chat with people. This is disastrous, okay? For those who don't know, the Gazan people, the Palestinians in Gaza Strip, before the genocide, the literacy in Gaza Strip was 100%, okay? 100%. Everyone, elders, children, everyone knows at least how to read and write and communicate, okay? Now we're talking about 100% of the schools are either destroyed or shelters, no universities. Kids are now more than 7 and 8 years old without entering schools, and this is the second educational year. This kid is not a single casualty, okay? It's not a single casualty, because about 600,000 students did not go to schools or universities for 2 years now, or for a year, but entering the second year now. That's it. And that's a short story happened with me today while filming.
سالما منعما وغانما كراما سالما منعما وغانما.
موطني الجلال والجمال والثناء والبهاء في رباك والحياة والنجاة والهناء والرجاء في
تلك قضيت هذا.
كنت قبل 7 أكتوبر مدرس لمادة العلوم والحياة. اليوم أنا قاعد في أكتوبر مدرسة، لكن مش قاعد أدرس، قاعد في مدرسة جاي متطور في حملة الإنايلة بندخلهم مية. قبل 7 أكتوبر 6 أكتوبر كان لي منزل مجهزه، استلمته في 6 أكتوبر ما عشتش فيه. اليوم أنا عايش بخيمة. تضاريس اختلفت الجو.
أنا صف سابع، مفروض صف ثامن. هلقيت نصحى الصبح بنعبي مي حلوة، نصحى بنعبي كمان مي مالحة، بنروح نجيب تكية، بننام في الليل، بنصحى تاني نعمل زيك تاني مرة.
57 سنة. من وين؟ من الأساس من بلدة بيت حمام من الشمال. حاليا مقيم هنا في القرارة في خان يونس مع إيوائنا الزحير، وكان لنا حياة وكان لنا أملاك وكان لنا أطيان ومحتويات وشغلات وعملنا وشغلنا. حاسين عايشين في حلم رسمي يعني، مش راضيين نصحى منه. يعني 130 درجة انقلبت الحياة.
خلال السنة هذه إيش هالشيء؟
أهوال يوم القيامة صعب جدا، ما بقدرش يعني أصور.
في فرق يعني بين قبل 7 أكتوبر وبين 7 أكتوبر. اليوم الوضع صعب فوق ما تتصور. يعني لسه الواحد يقابل ربه بالمنيح أحسن من هالعيش اللي احنا عايشينه. الوضع صعب فوق ما تتصور والله.
Good morning, everyone. This is Bisan from Gaza. I'm smiling because I'm still alive. Our homeland, our lives. We have lost everything. Seriously, everything. Have you ever seen destruction like this, even in the end of the world movies? No. Bombs, rockets. But it's written here. USA.
While we're leaving our houses, they told us from Al-Rimal neighborhood in the center of Gaza.
It was the worst day in my life. I remember that I only had 15 minutes to collect 25 years of my life in a backpack.
Pray for us. I know that I seem to be energetic and smiling, but it's not the truth.
If death had a smell, I'm smelling it right now. Behind me is a bombing happened last night.
We are besieged. I don't know if I can survive this or go anywhere. I'm just alone.
During this year, I feel all the time that I left a part of my soul back in my home in the north of Gaza Strip. And this soul is now with my belongings, with my room, my books, my clothes, with the pictures of my family hanged everywhere. I have been homeless for almost a year.
Let me show you guys where am I now and the place that I'm sleeping. Oh my God. They started the bombing early tonight.
I had a family, I had a home, I had a lot of dreams. I used to believe in my role in changing this world to a better place. I know I changed a lot. Everything lost its meaning in the genocide, unfortunately.
Good morning, everyone. This is Bisan from Gaza. It's the day 23 of continuous bombing. I'm smiling because I'm alive. I'm at the hospital, Al-Shifa hospital. I'm evacuating here, living in a tent for almost 3 weeks now. هلا ألف مبروك. من وين جبت هدول الأغراض؟ زبطت معك تجيب خبز ومية مع بعض؟ يلا مبروك، اشري يلا.
They bombed the door of the hospital. They bombed. I've been there before 2 minutes. It's a massacre. Thousands of people are out. Thousands of people.
I wish I had never left my home. No matter what are the consequences of this, I wish I had never left my home. I had never fled the north of Gaza Strip to the south.
شكرا. ثاني. من وين جبتوه؟ شو مكتوب فيه؟
الوقفة الإنسانية مؤقتة. الرجوع إلى الشمال ممنوع وخطير جدا. مصيركم ومصير عائلاتكم بأيديكم.
They are feeling so sad, and they're feeling that the truce is not a very important thing since they can't go back to their homes. And I am one of them, as I'm from the north and I can't go during the truce to see my home, to see anything in the north.
تلزمش والله الموت أرحم من اللي شفناه.
Displacement in Gaza, it's difficult, it's almost impossible in our conditions.
Hundreds of thousands of people are in tents. They don't have any place to go or in the streets. I'm one of them. It's cold, it's windy, it's raining.
Look at us. It's winter. It's officially winter.
Displacement is the only thing that will never be deleted from our memory. And we will never forget it until the end of our lives. Displacement, yeah. Hey everyone, this is Bisan from Gaza. Apparently, I'm still alive and I'm leaving my place. Merry Christmas, by the way. It's the 25th of December 2023. The world is celebrating and Bisan is evacuating. It's not the same. We're not the same, unfortunately.
So the first people I really want to say goodbye for them are Mahmoud, Jana, and Amir. So these are my friends and we've shared like breakfast several times. Let's ask them, these kind, cute children of the tents. Let's ask them about رفح. طيب وانت رايحة؟
أنا بديش أروح عرفة. ليش نروح عرفة؟ إن شاء الله قبل ما نروح عرفة ويصير هالكلام نروح على دورنا. إن شاء الله.
The situation is really hard. The carpet bombing before these moments was just unbelievable. The bombings are really loud and are so close to us. People who are displaced inside the hospital, dozens of thousands are just moving randomly, cannot find any place to go, as many in other hospitals were before. In Al-Shifa hospital, in the Indonesian hospital in Kamal Adwan, it's a war against hospitals.
Imagine sharing only 40 square kilometers of space, okay? With 2 million people that are at the risk of being killed all the time, usually, that are displaced, hungry, exhausted, poor, maybe sick, and without hope.
خوف واجد وارد، لكن لما تلاقي الطفل مش لاقي ياكل كل اللي بيشتهيه في حياته رغيف خبز، هذه كانت اصعب معاناه في حياته. وما فيش شيء، اكلنا الذره واكلنا الشعير تبع الحمير.
No one of us is in a safe place. There is no safe places in Gaza Strip. And even nowadays, when I'm filming, for example, in an encampment or in the street or on the beach, I'm always like this, me and death. All of us like this.
They are all... Ya Rab, Ya Satir. Look at this! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! It's a bomb inside the sea. Oh my God! Oh my God! These people are really suffering. There are no safe places in Gaza. The Israeli army have been telling us always to go to the south, but now there is no more south. We don't have any more south in Palestine. The south of Rafah now is Sinai Desert in Egypt.
But actually surviving the aggressions and the occupation taught us that survival is a collective thing. And we need to stick to each other so we can survive all of these conditions. We are a close-knit people and we share everything, all the resources and the food. We share also the joy, the sadness, the pain, the sorrow, and the hope.
بدنا أستاذ سيدرا.
هاي.
بدنا أستاذ سيدرا. يا زعرة. كيف حالك؟ كل عام وانت بخير. تهاني والله استقنا لك. الله يلعن أبوها الدنيا. اليوم جاي أفطر معكم. مرحب فيه ولا على السريع؟ مرحب فيك. هات شكرا. When the sunset is here and it's the time for futur, they brought me some dates and water. And by the way, dates are really rare and expensive, while it's one of the fundamentals of Ramadan for Muslims. This is so generous, and they all said the same thing for me. Eat with us today. افطري معنا اليوم.
I don't have many dreams anymore. My only dream now is to stop the genocide and for my people to live in freedom and justice. I feel anger and I feel that the world abandoned us.
Look at this. Look at these bombs. Look what is written here. USA. USA. These are the American weapons behind me that are used to destroy the buildings around me. Can you see the destruction? Oh my God. Oh my God.
القناص كان قاعد
ايش صار؟
القناص قاعد طلعي.
القناص كان قاعد هان؟
تنطق على الناس.
ايش لاقى القناص؟ ايش لقيت وراه؟
هاي رصاص. هاي شوف.
When I was young, I used to read about these civilizations that disappeared suddenly, or about the huge cities that vanished without any trace. And I used to ask myself, what is this enormous destructive force that can wipe the people, the place, and the history all at once? I now had my answer. In a hard way, I experienced it.
If death had a smell, I'm smelling it right now. Behind me is a bombing happened last night in a displacement spot in a Los area. Around me are tents where people are still inside these tents because they were told that they are in a safe area. People are so afraid, and the main question is where to go, where people should go. If the bombing is all over Rafah, Khan Yunis, and Gaza Strip around us, where should people go?
So people are fleeing in foot in the dark, in the midnight, or at the noon, when the heat is about 40 Celsius degrees, extremely hot. The family will be sitting on the street waiting to build their tent from worn clothes or pieces of plastic.
أنا عمري 75 سنة، يعني مش مقدرة على الخيم أقعد فيهن. شو بنار أكلاتنا جو، إحنا مش قادرين نقعد جوا في قلب الخيم.
يا واعي صفية.
من وين واعي صفية؟ ما أنا بقول لك أنا طلعت من بيت ما جبتش غير الهدم اللي علي. شوفي كيف يعني طلعت هيها مخزقة من كل جميع النواحي، ما فيش حاجة نحط عروسنا.
Since the beginning of the heat waves, since the middle of June and during July, I started suffering from skin pimples. It turns into an inflammation and a swelling of the skin and ulceration. A lot of people are suffering from the same thing. All the time, I'm watching in the streets people putting bandages at the same places in their legs and feet.
Look at that little girl there. She's so happy. She's the first of the line.
اسمي ريان وعمري 7 سنين.
لمين بتعبي مية؟
إلنا.
إذا بدك بساعدك وين ساكنين؟ وين ساكنين؟ أشرين.
هذا الشارع بنلف هيك وبتلاقي شارع بنخش منه.
كل هذا بتمشوا بالجلان؟
بدنا نشيل عبين ما يجي أخوي بننقلهن على كروسة.
طيب احكي لي كم مرة بتعبي مية في اليوم؟
مرتين، مي حلوة ومي مالحة.
So, kids, instead of waiting in lines to enter their classes and their schools, instead of being in a healthy environment, in an educational environment, they are between the rubble, on the dust, carrying heavy tanks to afford water to their families. Children have nothing. All I see when I'm in the street are children running for water, running for food, barefoot, wearing warm clothes, very thin, very unhealthy. And they're without health, without education, without dreams.
عمرك 9. هذا البيت اللي هو طلع من تحته؟
طار كله.
مين فقد؟
فقد والده ووالدته اخواته واخواته كله هيك. لا احد.
هو بيعرف؟
لا يعرف. لا يعلم.
Believing this is beyond my human belief. I can't believe that this is happening for children.
هدموا بيوتنا 3 طوابق هنا وعمرتين لنا 6 طوابق هدموهن عملنا خيمة وهينا قاعدين فيها أنا قاعد أنا وأخوي فوق دور فش دور هاي.
Have you ever heard about a land without dreams? Gaza is the land without dreams now.
ايش تلعبوا؟
نلعب كورة نرفه عن حالنا شوية. شايفة كيف خيم وقصف وصواريخ طالعة وصواريخ نازل.
وين جايب هاي الكورة؟
الكورة كان جايبها ابن عمي معاه ساعة الإخلاء سبق وعي وجاب الكورة وجا يجري.
And it looks like it's not suitable for living, for sheltering, for evacuating. It's just good for football. And yeah, I'm so proud of being here despite everything. Displacement is really ugly, is really hard. Living in tents is almost impossible after all of these events we're living, but I'm so proud of us, so proud of these people, of the children, of everyone.
عبوا عنهم كانوا الحرب زي أي حرب زي ما بتيجي بتروح.
We will return to our homes and to our cities. And when we return, we will celebrate this with you. Celebrating the return by cleaning our cities, cleaning our streets, and rebuilding Gaza with you.
See there? Gaza City, my beloved city, my lovely place. Inshallah we will back. Inshallah. Inshallah, I have an inner faith that we will get back, and I'll make a video like that from Gaza City, inshallah.
First, it is the least thing that the souls of more than 60 journalists were killed during this genocide while covering the genocide deserve. Second, it gives me kind of hope, you know, silencing the voices of truth, silencing the Palestinians, the natives who are telling the stories, is no longer possible. Whatever the efforts and the powerful voices are calling for silencing and censoring the Palestinians no, خلص, it's over. No one can silence the truth, and what began in 7th of October cannot be reversed and cannot be stopped. It's the journey for me. It's the journey to tell the truth that have been blockade for 76 years, and we are on our way, like heading to a free Palestine and to justice for my people. So it's kinds of hope and making sure that the people and the world, the people around the world, has changed after all what we broadcasted. Hi everyone, this is Bisan from Gaza. It's the day 368 of the genocide, and the Israeli army has been advancing in the north of Gaza Strip for 4 days now, after they started the ground invasion on the 6th of October. Of course, the ground invasion for the entire north of Gaza Strip, because they're telling about 300,000 people to flee to the south, but to Jabalia refugee camp and town in particular. And this is not the first time. For Jabalia, it's the third time. And for the entire north, I stopped counting. But this time is different, because actually now they don't even care about lying to you. You know, they told you about this. For the past 2 weeks, they were discussing the plan that is talking about emptying the north of Gaza Strip and turning it into a military place before starting building settlements there. So yeah, they don't care that they are exposed. They don't care that they are committing ethnic cleansing and that the entire world know about this. They don't care. And what makes it more dangerous now is that people get familiar with the evacuation orders and with emptying the north to the south and not allowing the people to go back to the north. The world is normalizing, for example, that the Israeli army yesterday gave 24 hours, only 24 hours, for Kamal Adwan hospital in Jabalia to flee, to evacuate. If they did not obey to these orders, they will either be killed or arrested, all of them, the doctors and the patients. طيب, that's not the only thing. Actually, the Israeli army bombed Shalfouh, the only bakery working on Jabalia. They bombed Shalfouh at 3 p.m. and the flour kept burning until 10 p.m. The flour that people actually got killed to get it in the flour massacres like months ago, if you remember. Today, at the afternoon, they bombed Al-Yemeni Said hospital. They killed 20 people, were either displaced there or patients there. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? Now, Jabalia is under the fire. Everyone knows that, but no one is moving for that. An hour ago, the Israeli army opened fire on a group of journalists who were covering the situation and the invasion in Jabalia in the north of Gaza Strip. Mohammed Tanani, the journalist working for Al-Aqsa channel, is killed. Tamer Lubad, his colleague, is injured. Fadil Wahidi, working for Al-Jazeera, is injured. And that's only days after killing Hassan Hamad, the young journalist, while he was covering also the invasion of the north of Gaza Strip and turning him into pieces. The family of Hassan Hamad, who was killed 2 days ago, the journalist, took Hassan's body in a box. This is what Israel does for anyone fighting to tell the truth, and this what happened to more than 170 journalists who were killed in the past year. I know that this video will be taken down almost an hour, and I know that it will not do anything, but just I can't just watch it by myself, feel everything I'm feeling right now, feel angry, feel helpless by myself. I just still cannot believe that this is happening for our children. Israel until now killed almost 17,000 children in the most brutal ways ever, and yet it's not enough. 2 hours ago, these children were playing football in the street in the Shata refugee camp in the west of Gaza City, in the north of Gaza Strip. And they were like playing in the middle of the rubble of the partially destroyed places because they're children and they don't know anything else to face all of this but playing. And they were killed. 2 hours ago, they were playing around their mothers and fathers who are not helpless also. And now there are coffins and they died. They died just like the thousands of children before. These people did not evacuate the north of Gaza Strip, not only because they stick to their right to stay, but also because people are not safe in the south. People are not safe in the south. 2 days ago, Rafidia massacre in Rafidia school in Deir al-Balah happened. About 30 people were killed, and we also saw children cut into pieces, just hands away from heads, away from legs, and all these scenes that keep reminding us that they are trying to normalize all of these things. They are besieging the north of Gaza Strip for the 9th day in a row. Then when some people succeeded to escape to Gaza City, also in the north of Gaza Strip, they bombed them. They keep bombing people wherever they are, in Jabalia, in Beit Hanun, in Beit Lahia, in Saftawi, in Gaza, in Rimal, in Shata, in Shujaiya, in Tufah, everywhere, just everywhere. Because it's the thing. They don't have rules. It's a genocide. The only thing they want is to kill people. To kill the people. To reach to a zero population, no Palestinians, like annihilated Palestinians, by killing them. To kill them by burning them. Everyone is watching it. Even after they were killed, the fire expanded to the next tents. Even if some people survive this, they will be just without any place to go to. It was not the first time to bomb Al-Aqsa hospital or some tents, but I keep shaking. I don't know. They burned people alive. I don't know. They picked this missile to cause this fire at this time of the night to kill people while they are sleeping. And then these people are waking up, watching their bodies burning, turning into black, and having their last breath in front of the camera. That's what happened. They did this. I know that you will not be able to watch the videos, to watch the pictures, to hear them screaming while they are burning and no one can do anything for them, but the Israeli army did this. Did you watch it? The video. It was so slow. It was so painful. It was so unnecessary. Even if they wanted to kill us all, even if it's a genocide, even if they are criminals, they could have done this in different ways. They wanted to burn us alive, and they did this. They're playing. It was unnecessary, but they're trying new ways to kill. It was unnecessary at all. At all. These people I can't describe the video. It was the first time that I saw when I wake up, and now I see people. I see the scene, the fire everywhere I look. The journalists there said that the people were inside the fire were at least 3 who appeared in the video: a man, woman, and a little girl. Israel commits all of these massacres, then tells the world that it has the right to defend itself. Why? To avoid another Holocaust. Because it's never a game. But what about this? Isn't that a Holocaust? Or it's never again when it's for the God-chosen people and the white people only, and when it's about Palestinians and Gazans and Arabs, it's okay, let them burn. Isn't that a Holocaust?